You know, hello, folks. How you doing? Welcome to the Garblag Games channel. My name isn't Pete. I think we've given him a night off from the streaming shed. Is he warm? I hope so. My name's Millie the GM. I've come over here to take over for an evening and run these four fine folk through a game called Tales from the Loop. Hopefully some of you will have heard of Tales from the Loop before, but if you didn't, it's a roleplay game set in the 80s that never was. So we're talking Big Hair, Challenge Annika, The Bill, what else have we got? Grange Hill, yeah, that kind of stuff. And it also kind of riffs on things like The Goonies, E.T., other nostalgia kind of adventures and films from that kind of time. The 80s that never was, because it's also kind of filled with Simon Stallingtag's, pretend I said that right, weird and wonderful art. So there's like robots and strange, there we go, yeah, you just the duck thing and this weird derelict thing behind Ben. So there's all kinds of weird stuff. I love it. It's a wonderful system that kind of brings out the awe and the wonder and that kind of like, oh wow moments. And I've been writing a bunch of these mysteries, that's what the adventures are called in this system, the mysteries, and throwing them up on Drive-Thru RPG under the Free League Workshop kind of community content thing. And they've been great fun. I've set them in the northwest UK because that's where I am, at the Lancashire Loop, and just riffing off folklore and that kind of thing. So that's what's happening tonight. I hope you're going to stick around and say hello, because this is going to be interesting. Out of us who are here, so Ben and Leon and everyone, has anybody played this before? Is this the first time for everyone?
We're all first timers.
Yep. Excellent. Yep. All right. Yep. So we might be a little bit familiar with some of the rule sets because it's a bit like Alien. It's based on the Free League Year Zero engine, which is the D6 dice pools. I was a bit excited tonight because we've actually got we're going to roll some real dice tonight. I'm going to chuck some real dice about, which is good. I miss doing that. I miss tables with people and dice. Gosh. But the thing about this is we're not going to kill any of the players or the characters even. This is not that kind of game. So nothing's going to jump out and destroy you. But we are gonna have some scary moments, I hope. The other interesting thing about this, which might be worth it for your Garblag Groats, is I'm not going to roll any dice tonight. So as much as I want evil GM rerolls, they're kind of pointless, so perhaps save them for the other guys, and I might be back again, so you might be able to.
For Thursday.
Oh, for Thursday. Glorious. Yes, there we go. Save them for another day. So yeah, it's based on the Year Zero engine. We're going to have pools of dice that we're going to roll, and we're looking for sixes. Most often, we'll need one six on all the dice, just one. If we get more than that, we might be able to ask some extra questions, do some extra things. Sometimes in this system, though, we're going to need maybe 2 or 3 successes. Sometimes we're going to get into something called extended trouble, which will mean we'll all collectively have to get a bunch of successes. So it might be we need 8 successes to achieve what we want to do, and we're going to do it through a montage. We might need 12. So, things like that might happen. But for the most part, 1 success will be enough. And there are ways we can fiddle with the dice pool, because we're going to find out some things like signature icons and stuff like that in a minute. Not signature icons, I'm heading into Coriolis there. Signature items. But I think that's enough of the rules. I think I'd like to play some Tales from the Loop. Is everybody with me?
Yep. Yeah.
Excellent. Right. So the best way to kind of introduce some characters to Tales from the Loop and introduce them to our audience as well is if we kind of imagine we're gonna set up like the intro, you know, like in Grange Hill where you see them all heading to a thing, and you pick up a kid as you head along, and you end up with this little gang. We're gonna do that. We're gonna narrate one of them. So our intro sequence starts over, you know, a traditional kind of English market. You see the striped kind of stalls, there's people bustling about, and on one side of the market is this huge truck, you know, like I'm talking Coca-Cola style truck kind of thing. It's got lights. It's somebody, you can see somebody setting up a PA system and that kind of stuff. And on the side of it, it has the words Dr. V's Vita Water. And you can see, we see people sort of setting everything up all across there. And the camera kind of zooms up and zooms out. And then who wants to be the first person to introduce their kid? Where do we then zoom in on? Any volunteers? No?
Like,
Right, well, I guess
probably lives furthest out of town.
I live furthest out of town. Oh, hang on, I've got to pick an accent. Where am I going? We're going Lancashire. Lancashire. Right, you want Lancashire? Okay, so I'm probably living further out of town. So I've either had to get the bus in or hoof it. So I've come from further out.
Maybe you have a really cool hover bike. Like a hover
Maybe.
quad.
That would be lovely. It might be something I'm working on. Would be nice to get one of those. So yeah, I'm gonna head into town, buy some comics.
Yeah. What does it look like as Will's getting ready to head into town, buy some comics, and maybe meet their friends to find out what's going on with this big truck on the market?
Well, I've got to take my wellies off first because obviously they're covered in chicken poo. Nobody wants that, and they get mean if you go into town with chicken poo on your shoes. So I'll put like my going to town shoes on.
Yeah.
You know, trainers, like really posh make, like, I don't know, high tech or something.
Oh yeah, high tech. I like it.
I can't quite make it to Adidas or those Nike ones, but high tech, I can get those. So I pop on my high techs. I got they're almost like that baseball boot size.
Oh yeah.
Pop those on. Got my jeans on. Nice shirt, nice big thick shirt because it's a bit nippy out. And just sort of mosey along the town.
So as you're leaving, we hear from maybe off camera as it sort of focuses on Will, your character. You hear a voice in the background, and it goes, "Billy lad, Billy, are you heading into town?
Hi, Mum.
You mean? Can you pick me up some of those? You know?" And she's vaguely describing some sort of thing for the tractor, like just there should be something on the stall on the market this weekend, you know,
I'll have a look, ma'am.
All right, there's a £5 note on kitchen table, take that with you, lad.
All right.
And then you hear like a door slam as somebody heads out into the farm kind of thing. Scoop up the money and head into town.
Yep.
Whose house does Will go by? Whose is the first stop? Any volunteers?
Probably Oz first because
Oz?
he knows the best comics.
Ah.
I mean, I've heard of Beano and stuff like that, but Oz has opened me up to a whole new world of like comic spectaculars. Did you know they made like war comics? I didn't know that.
So as our hick is heading over to Oz's house, what's the scene like in Oz's house?
I'm in my bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm listening to something quite loud. Flicking through me Eagles. Again. But, you know, I know it all, but I just want to read it again. Just to make sure I've got it down pat. Just, you know, One-Eyed Jack, Captain Dandare. These people are important. Yeah, just laying on the bed. Read my comics.
So do you know that Will is going to head over, or is it going to be a surprise?
I think it's probably going to be a surprise.
All right. And what are your parents like when we hear Will like knocking on the door and assuming he's like, is Oz there? Can he come out to play? Kind of thing, or whatever the equivalent is. What is going to be their reaction?
They're probably going to be really pleased that I seem to have a friend.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I don't. But...
but you know, okay. So, what's the outside of Oz's house? Is it just like a normal semi-detached terraced? Does he have a fancy mansion on the edge of town? What's it like?
It's not a fancy mansion. It is folks from that London who come up north to work in the local science lab.
Cosmopolitan.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So okay, we see Will approaching this slightly fancy house. There's probably we know it's slightly fancy because they have a car that has wheels and not grav. Yeah, it's got actual wheels, and so it's a little bit fancier than everybody else. Will,
what's going on with that number plate? It's like foreign or something.
Yeah. You kind of knock on the door, ring the bell politely. What's the
knock on the door?
All right. So that you can hear that there's a commotion inside. I think, yeah, probably Oz's mum answers the door, looks at you, and is like, "Can I help?"
Hello, Mrs. Smith. I'm William. Is Oz here?
Oh. And she sort of like leaves the door open a bit, heads in, and goes, what? First of all, she calls Oz's dad, and she's like, it's a young. And the dad is obviously like, oh yeah.
I'd imagine if it was a girl.
Oh, I know, right? And then you hear Will. She stands about 3/4 of the way up the stairs and goes, Ozymandias, there's a friend here.
What?
A friend for you.
Does he have the oh, okay. God. So embarrassing.
And she's like stood in the hallway, like beaming, like.
I will put my coat on and get my hat and scarf and trudge down the stairs.
and you can hear Oz's dad, and he's sort of like, does he need money for things? Yes. And obviously he's from London, so he pulls out like a £10 note. Like a full £10 note, which in the Northwest is probably like £1 million in the 80s. He pulls this out and he hands it to you as he says, well, whatever, like if you need to have a meal or something while you're out, yeah, if you need to call us, do you know the new house number?
No.
And you can see like your mum is already writing it. No, what he does actually is he pulls out his business card. He gives you his business card. And we would see it's got like the loop, the Rinsky Energy logo on it. And it's probably like Dr. Smith, high energy particle physics department or something fancy. And he gives you his business card. And then almost absent-mindedly, he hands one to Will. Like, and he waits for a moment, obviously to get one back. And then he goes, oh, look, kids, this is great. This is exceptional. This is a breakthrough. And he looks to his wife for like confirmation. And they're like, yeah, bye.
I will slam the door on the way out.
Yeah, they pull the curtains aside and watch just in case. Like,
oh, God.
Yeah. All right, where are we heading to? Who are we heading to see?
Maybe I live across the street from Oz.
Oh, like literally you can see it from the doorway. So,
are we doing a whole thing? Is this what we're doing, Bill? We're getting the gang, are we? Okay, fine.
Well,
let's get Johnny.
I don't mind.
Well, I've got a tenner. Let's get Johnny.
Tenner?
Yeah.
I've got a £5. I've got to buy tractor parts with that.
Well, I buy whatever I like.
So Liana, has Johnny been watching? Are they sat in the yard waiting, or in the garret? What are they doing?
Johnny saw him out the window, so I'd have got up late and just
Please let
been
Roger be
getting
your
ready.
little brother.
I want to go out because I'm not going to stay in because, well, parents. So I spy them out the window. I'm already obviously wearing my jeans, put my high top Converse on, my denim jacket on to go with my denim jeans because denim is cool.
Denim is cool.
Double denim.
In my hair, quick checking mirror, and then go out the door. Whoa, Oz!
So as you're heading out the door, what are we skipping? Like, what are the other kids missing? Are we gonna see like is there somebody who shouts like they did for Will, or is this an empty house? Is like Johnny, there's nobody home, and we have this stark contrast.
Oh no, there's so Dad's at work. So he works in sort of trading or something. So he was getting up early, like supplying restaurants. So he has to leave at like 2 a.m. or something to go get the catch of the day, that sort of thing. Mum's just around, but it's like they're not doing too well. They're probably in the process of like a separation, but that's kind of on the down low, so people don't know that. So it's Johnny likes being out of the house as much as possible. So it's not a good place to be.
So as Johnny's leaving, is there a hushed conversation on the phone where your mum is like, no, I'll hold for the solicitor. That's fine. Kind of moment where she's just sat there and she puts her hand over the mouthpiece and she goes, Are you gonna be back late this afternoon?
Yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back later. We're out for the day.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Fine. No. I'm still here. Yes. I'm just holding. No.
Johnny just goes.
Yeah. And so she goes back to this. What we realise is a divorce solicitor. As the something on the table as she's notarized it, and Johnny just heads across the street. Yeah. So as you meet up with the others, where are we heading for Eddie's house?
Eddie's house is in a very nice part of town. Eddie has very wealthy parents. Although, like every 80s kid, especially rockers, he doesn't appreciate them. He likes to rebel and think, they're always trying to keep me down, despite the fact they're actually genuinely supportive and try and give him every advantage he can.
So on the way is what's happening with Will and Oz and Johnny on the way? Are we excited to go and meet Eddie's? Are we got to do it as a favor for someone? Is he like someone we just need to check in on?
I'm a little bit surprised, to be honest. I mean, Johnny hanging out with us.
I mean,
the power of money, my little friend. You got any money, Johnny? Did your mum give you anything?
No, I just get by on my charm. People give me things. My friends.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, about that. Okay. So, are we going to the market yet? Do we have to pick up any more strays? What's happening?
So how have we agreed to meet our rocker? What is likely here?
Well, we could take a shortcut, but it would mean we'd have to go past that Eddie kid's house, and you know what he's like.
He's loud.
Aye, and he'll follow us.
Well,
it's worth the risk, isn't it?
Yeah.
We don't want to get there and find all the good comics are sold out.
Well, no, that would be bad. So let us hustle on.
So here's the thing: is Eddie somehow related to the person who works at the comic shop? Is that Orin? Does the Saturday kid at the comic shop, is that Eddie's older sibling, perhaps?
It's his uncle. His uncle actually got a loan off his dad to open a business. His uncle was always into comics. This kid, he grew up trying to get hold of the difficult American imports. And things are beginning to pick up now in the 80s. The economy's doing well, and he can get those rare imports that you just couldn't get 10 years ago.
Silver Age is coming to an end in the 80s. You're starting to get the explosion of the stuff that came after that, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Commando comics are now big.
Yeah.
All right, so
They're big with you guys.
Yeah, we know then if we pick Eddie up on the way, Eddie's uncle is gonna want to be slightly impress Eddie's friends, because that might mean more kids coming. So we're working an angle here, and the kids are happy to go with that. Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So we take this detour. Where does Eddie live?
So, as described, in a very nice part of town, in a very big, for the area, 4-bedroom detached house with a double garage.
Nice.
And a scimitar parked out the front. That's his dad's.
Oh, okay. All right. So when these 3 kids sort of casually but not casually walk past, slow enough for you to see them, but also maybe a little bit too fast, so you have to catch up, what is Eddie doing?
Eddie, as they arrive, he'll be strumming on his guitar. He'll be listening to Twisted Sister, strumming along on his Gibson SE Standard, which is a very expensive electric guitar that he doesn't appreciate as much as he should, and singing along.
All right. So
But seeing the older boys in there, particularly Johnny, Eddie really wants to kind of get in with John. Everyone knows Johnny. Everyone likes Johnny. And if he's going to start a band, he needs to be in with the people that like him.
yeah, that's definitely.
So as he kind of, is stood there singing along, banging on his guitar, making far too much noise than is reasonable, but his parents putting up with, he's kind of sees them approach, quickly unplugs the guitar, hits stop on the tape deck that's playing the music, pops the tape out, puts it in his Walkman, slings his guitar over his back, and starts running down the stairs, kind of slinging on his patchwork leather jacket with all of the band patches, AC/DC, Van Halen, Twisted Sister, just desperate to kind of catch up with them, hopping down the stairs, trying to pull his boots on.
So we have this nice sort of scene where these 3 young kids walk past the end of the cul-de-sac or something slowly, but then we see Eddie sort of hopping out the house, and they're like, okay, no, you've seen us, come on, let's
Right,
move.
Speed up.
Yeah,
Come on.
not too obvious. Yeah, okay. So we meet up, and then we cut like in town, where we're maybe leaving the comic book shop. We've got some cool stuff. Eddie's uncle is like, kids, if you love those, look, you can just ask your parents to set up a box. We can get them in weekly or monthly. It's not a problem. Sometimes we put freebies in the boxes. Eddie, it's great, isn't it, Eddie?
Oh yeah, they're always good. The ones that I get every month are pretty decent. The new Commando one last month was awesome.
And Eddie's uncle is like, yeah.
Yeah, can you get the heavy metal comics? Can you get them? Order them in?
Well, you can see him looking at Eddie, and then looking back at Oz and being like, "I should. Is it for your dad?"
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I can order that in. Yeah, absolutely.
Good. He'll be thrilled, but it'll be a surprise. So I'll collect them, and he'll then get them. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Good.
Right.
Yeah, I'll and you see him going back in to fill out forms and order things online. Down the street from where the comic book shop is, you can hear music playing. There is lights. There seems to be all kinds of stuff going on at the market. And as we sort of look down the street, you can see there's a couple of people and they're walking back, and they have these big boxes on. boxes, and on the side of the boxes it's got Vita Water at home. And the kid, the adult kind of walks along and they're talking to a teenager who's with them. And they're like, I can't believe they're giving these away for free. That's pretty amazing. Have you ever seen, they look like one of those Soda Stream things. Wow. And then there's another person on the end of the road and they've got like 2. Like they've got 1 each. And as we sort of look at these people walking towards us, there's another couple of teens kind of run down towards the opposite way, and they're like, "Oh, free things, let's go!" kind of thing. Do we?
Yeah, my mum could probably do with one of those.
Somebody said my favourite price. So.
Our kitchen's looking a bit, so maybe one of those would like spice it up a bit.
Looking a bit lacking in the Soda Stream.
Eddie's going to keep quite quiet. He's basically going to glance towards Johnny for guidance on whether Johnny thinks this is a good idea or not.
Yeah, let's go check it out.
Yeah,
see
great
what
idea.
it is.
Well, Johnny, do you reckon
people give you stuff? So you're up, Johnny.
Yeah, free's never too hard to get though.
Do you reckon any of the girls will be down there, Johnny?
Gonna peer over the crowd and see who I can see.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Would you like to make the first roll of the evening?
Yes.
I just need to double check my my skills, because I get them confused between aliens and Coriolis, and then Tales from the Loop. So I have my handy dandy book.
If something hisses at us and then does 10 dice of base damage, I'm not going to be happy.
No,
probably not a girl.
Yeah. No, actually, that's the girl stats in Tales from the Loop. No.
Okay. I stand corrected.
Dude, with 14-year-old boys, that is what girls' stats are like.
Yeah.
Just run.
Yeah, contact. We're going to make a heart contact roll.
Heart contact. Cool. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. So yep, I get 5 dice for heart and 1 for contact.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we came with Johnny.
1 success.
1 success. All right. So you can see that there's a couple of folks down there that you recognise. There's definitely a big bunch of families and folks you recognise from school. There's definitely a lot of folks down there. The other things you notice is this woman who's on the stage, and she's got one of those cool mics that comes kind of here and is around an earpiece, and she has a violin, and she's playing this violin, and also like these people in like really gaudy neon t-shirts with the Vita Water logo on. She's playing the violin and she stops and then she goes, "Yes, and you can have one as too," and she points at them with her bow. And you recognize her. She is she's been on TV a lot. She is Dr. V, and she's created this special enriched water that's there to hydrate, because the human body is over like 60% water. The brain alone is 70% water, and this brand of water is there to really vitalize and help you be your best. And she plays like this jingle for the Vita Water, and then she points at someone and they get a box. They get one of the Vita Water at home kits, and so you recognize her as well. As some of the other girls, the older teens, and the girls from your form or your year as well. Is there someone specific you recognise?
Yeah, Jessie. There's a group of girls, they do Irish dancing.
Nice.
And I overheard them talk about Dr. V the other week.
Yeah.
Dang, how brilliant it is. Yeah. Yeah, I see Jessie's over there, and some of the other girls from our school. You probably don't recognise them.
Thanks, Johnny. I'll be at the back.
I don't know. Is Tracy Johnson there?
No, she is. Yeah, Trace is there.
Oh, cool.
But you know what happened last time?
I'm going to try and maneuver Eddie to the front, because I think what Eddie doesn't realise is that the girls find him kind of cute, because he's got that younginess to him.
Oh, okay.
And so he's actually kind of a girl magnet, but he doesn't realise that yet, because he's got the guitar and he's got like the sort of boyish, very young good looks, so they get that kind of brotherly vibes from him.
Okay.
Right, Johnny actually quite likes having Eddie around.
Nice. So we maneuver our way through the crowds. Everybody's really hyped. Not only are they giving away these Vita kits at home, you can see that there's people walking through the crowd. They've got this neon logo T-shirt on, and like the cigarette tray kind of things, but they're full of the water bottles of this Vita water, and they're just handing them out left and right free. Everybody's like, this is free? That's amazing. This is free. And she'll play the jingle, and she's a really great musician. She's really like movie star good looks kind of thing. And she'll play the violin, and then she'll point at somebody else in the audience, and you can take one home as well. You get a Vita water at home one. You get a Vita water at home. And she's just...
As she plays the jingle, can I kind of unsling my guitar and kind of, obviously it's not connected to anything, but basically play along, mirror the music?
Yeah.
Oh, you little legend.
You ledge. Let's see. I think this might be. Well, okay, you tell me, because I think it's a comprehend roll, a mind comprehend. And as your guitar is an iconic item, you get an extra 2 dice.
Okay.
You get a bonus 2 dice.
I've got mind 2 and comprehend 1, so I get 3 dice for that. And then
3 dice, and then 2 more for your guitar, so that's a pool of 5.
Oh, 2 6s.
Okay. So you pick out it's not too difficult jingle. It's only a couple of notes. It's one of those terribly catchy couple of notes. And she can play it like in a number of different sort of chords, like a different sort of registers kind of thing. So she's belting these out. You manage to pick them up. For your second success, is there anything you want from that? Like, bearing in mind the kind of, you could
the woman on stage notice?
Yes. Yes, she could. So yeah, Dr. V, she plays it, and she must point to somebody nearby you, just as you kind of go dang dang, and you finish, and she's like, oh, a musician in the audience, ladies and gentlemen, a musician. And she sort of conducts a few of the folks who have got this tray. She goes, fetch that young one up here, fetch them along.
Push Eddie.
Yeah, and she you can see she sort of puts her hand over the one side of the mic, and she goes, Jason, bring the amp out, bring the gears for, and you see this poor sort of PA kind of like jump up, put a clipboard down, and they begin kind of looking for aux cables and connections and what they might need for your guitar. You're sort of shepherded along to the side of the stage, and Jason, the PA, he kind of looks over. He goes, "What's your name, kid? Who are you?"
Eddie.
Eddie. And this is yours. You can, and somebody else brings like a piece of paper and a clipboard over, and he goes, "Are your parents with you?"
No, they're at home.
Okay, so he hands you a pen. He goes, "Just write your name on there."
Oh.
Autograph, kid. Autograph.
Without reading it, he literally just signs it.
Yeah.
All right.
You would, wouldn't you?
And so
I hereby give up all rights to anything I'm about to do.
Yeah.
Well have done.
Yeah.
Won't have read it.
Who knows?
Not even
hands it
a glance.
over. Somebody
Someone's
else
inviting him on stage with a guitar.
Yeah. Somebody else kind of runs over and goes, "Smile, kid," and takes your photograph. And then nice. And then you're welcomed up on stage, and Dr. V is there, and she's like, she plays you like an intro on her violin, and she looks at you and she goes, Have you come here to play? Did you come here because you knew I was here?
No.
And the whole crowd
you were
laughs.
just here.
A whole crowd like laughs. It's brilliant. And she does that comedy thing. She kind of goes, "Oh, I'm so heartbroken. But never mind. Shall we?" And she puts the violin up. She and she kind of taps her foot.
Like pass me like the connector.
Yeah.
For the end.
Yeah. While you're there, sort of talking to her, you sort of turn around. You realize there's like a roadie, somebody in a black and like an alternate version of the Vita Water thing, and they're plugging bits in, and they've got stuff and their things, and they're like, this way, yeah, okay, cool. And they give her the thumbs up, and she taps her foot, and she looks at you, and then she plays a bit, and then she looks over for you she's doing like call and response kind of thing.
Yeah, I'll immediately pick it up. Jamming is what he does.
Yeah.
As soon as she stops, he'll be like going for it.
Yeah, and then so she starts, and she plays like a slightly more complicated version, and then she looks at you.
He will basically put a rock spin on the jingle.
Nice. And then she nods like she's loving it. You're obviously you're being creative. You're playing music. She loves that you're riffing off hers, and she's like, no, keep it going. Let's play. And everybody in the crowd watches as Dr. V, this sort of health crazed TV celebrity from the area, is on stage jamming with Eddie.
Eddie will get a bit carried away, and he will start hopping across the stage playing the guitar.
Proper Johnny be good.
All right, okay. So
I think Oz has been filming all of this just cause what? Little Super 8 camera.
Little Super 8.
Oh yeah, I forgot you got that.
Nice. So Eddie, I would like you to make a move roll. Let's see how well you hop and power slide around.
You guys aren't ready for this yet, but your kids are going to love it.
Hey, these kind of boots are really good for doing this.
Yeah.
So what do I need to roll for this?
So we're going to do body and move.
Oh, wow, okay, I'm very good at this.
Yeah.
Do I get the guitar bonus?
Do you know, in this situation,
or is this more at how I'm moving around rather than...
I think this is exactly what you've been practicing for with the guitar.
Oh, yeah, jumping around the room.
So, yes,
all of this.
You can have the +2 bonus from your guitar.
A lot of dice.
Yes.
2 again.
2. All right. So, it looks great. You must do like the spin the guitar so it goes under one arm, over the shoulder, back, and you without missing a beat. What else do you do? What other cool stunts does Eddie get up to?
Kind of over the back of the head.
Okay, yeah.
All the sorts of things that any kind of young teenage boy would dream of doing with a guitar. Eddie has been practicing for years, and
not the music,
and he's only 12.
He's ever since he was kind of 8. He's been watching all of the music videos on MTV that his dad has with a huge satellite dish coming into the house. And he's just been trying to imitate this. The amount of guitars he has broken doing this. And again, without realizing, the hundreds of pounds these things cost, which in, the 80s is a colossal sum.
Yeah.
Practice worth.
So it gets to the point where Dr. V realizes she's being upstaged by a kid. And she must make eye contact with somebody off stage who slowly fades down Eddie's sounds. And she kind of puts a fiddle under her arm, and she's like, folks, families, Eddie, I'm going to point you over to Jason there. He's got you a big kit of Vita Water at home, T-shirts for all your family. I'm going to make sure you, young man, get a lifetime supply of Vita Water. And she stops. Like, this is clearly, this point here is a rehearsed moment. And she sort of puts a thing, she looks out to all the people who have applauded you, and she looks out and she goes, do you know what? This town has impressed me so much. I'm going to make sure everybody here, everybody today gets a free Vita Water at home kit. Everybody, and the crowd goes ape. Like all these 100 and something people just love it.
As they all do that, he's going to throw up the bullhorns and go, whoa!
Yeah, and this is where Jason, the PA, is sort of like, come on, I'm going to pull you off stage. If they had one of
Oh,
those
yeah.
shepherd hooks, they'd be hooking him off stage.
Takes a hint.
Yeah, so you're off stage. She obviously takes over, and she's like talking about the benefits, the minerals they've added in, the how you should drink this with every day, and hydrating, and it's important. And she's been drinking Vita Water for years. Look how good she is, and this kind of stuff. And then some TVs on the sides of the van start playing like the Vita Water infomercial type stuff, and she moves over to the side where you are, and she's got like a screen behind her, so like a branded screen, like the footballers stand in front, except it's all Dr. V and Vita Water, and she's like, all right, okay, we need 6 photos now, and there's a whole sort of thing where Eddie is getting like PR shots and that kind of stuff, and you've got to hold the box, you got to put the t-shirt on and hold the box, you've got to stand with the guitar while she was with there's a whole bunch of that kind of stuff. While Eddie is living his most rock and roll dream ever, what are the others doing? You just sort of stood there rolling your eyes.
I'm trying to get a free water from the people that you said are hanging them out.
Yeah, they hand you about 3 if you want.
I will fill my deep overcoat pockets with 3 bottles of water.
Yeah.
I'm going to blush and not talk to Tracy Johnson.
Yeah. She probably like looks over her shoulder at you, like, and then says something to the other girls she's with.
They laugh.
And they all look over their shoulder at you, and they sort of giggle a bit. Yeah.
Especially the ears.
Yeah. We're not sure whether Tracy also goes crimson and blushes. We don't know. The camera doesn't show us, kind of thing. We just focus on Will as he's like every blood vessel in his face dilate, that kind of thing. And so eventually Eddie is sort of let loose with carrier bags of stuff. The folks in the Vita Water team are literally just like offloading pallets worth of stuff to anybody. There's a massive queue. The local police are sort of there to kind of marshal the crowds. Yeah, both of them.
One
all
who
of
can
them.
read and the one who can write.
And so the afternoon is sort of left to this.
I feel we would have bulled forward to help Eddie with all of his games.
Believe you me, if we're bulling forward, ain't nobody getting in the way of this healthy young buck.
Yeah. Do we wanna try a force roll to try and see if we can elbow our way? Because Eddie's.
I'm just going to try and slip through the gaps. That's more Oz's
Oh, you're just gonna sneak?
MO. Well, it's kind of sneaking. It's kind of just moving with the rhythm of the crowd, trying to ignore the fact that there are any other people.
I got 3 successes on bouncing people off me.
All right. So our hick deploys the elbows. Is that what he just sort of rolls his shoulders?
Pure, I work on a farm, and if I have to, I can pull the tractor back to the barn because it keeps breaking. Once I'm moving, I'm not stopping.
Okay.
Chicken-powered fury, yeah.
The rugby captain would love to get me on the team, but it's not happening.
Because you've got stuff to do on the weekends.
Yeah. Got chores, sorry.
Yeah. So we get there. We finally get up with Eddie, who's like, Dr. V waves goodbye, and she heads off to a car. Like, she's out of town now. She's going.
So did you get her number?
What?
You get her number?
Eddie will just go red.
Very good. I have a tape.
What?
Oh, you two jamming.
You've got a tape of me on the stage with my guitar.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got to put that on the VCR later.
Yeah, we can work something out. Anyway, stuff.
What do you get?
Yeah. We'll give you a hand with your swag.
I've no idea. They just kept handing me bags.
So part of Tales from the Loop is the group of kids have a hideout. A hideout is a place me as a GM cannot bring trouble to. It's a safe place. So like in somebody in chat mentioned Stranger Things. So like they have like that little tent sort of thing in the woods. That's their hideout. Where do we have a hideout? What is the group's hideout here? Is it a back room at the comic shop? Because they all have weird back rooms in comic shops. Is it part of the barn on Will's farm?
It's an old World War II pillbox. Remnants of the war that's been left there and abandoned for years.
All right. So that's where we all sort of start walking to, and we cut to we're there. And this is where we can sort of tip out everything that's in these carrier bags that Dr. V gave Eddie.
We'll first take an implausible number of bottles out of my pockets.
I'm definitely going to drink some water because this has been a thirsty walk.
Yeah.
I'm going to crack open a bottle and drink
Yeah,
some.
might as well. Cheers.
Yeah, Eddie will have done too after,
Does it taste
all the
any
excitement.
different than any other water I've ever had? Or does it just taste like water?
So would you like to try and comprehend it? Or investigate it? Or what are we trying to do here?
I just want to know if I'm going to be suitably unimpressed and be like, this is just water. There's nothing special about this.
I'm going to read the ingredients.
All right, so yeah, make an investigate roll there, please, Oz.
Okie dokie.
I want to check the perimeter, make sure that nobody's been in our place.
Good man.
Say that
Thanks,
every
Will.
time, Will. No one's ever comes here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it makes him feel good. Don't worry about it.
Officially, I'm not allowed to make bad things happen here, so
One.
one success.
No, but checking the perimeter is an important military job.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's what they do in the comics.
Okay, fair enough. Yes, you and Sergeant Rock go check the perimeter.
So one success as we look over the ingredients, we sniff it a bit. I mean, you might have a little bit of science background that you've picked up just from home, by osmosis. Your parents seem to be science nerds, so therefore you've got a bit of it as well.
Osmosis.
Osmosis, yes, I like it. And it doesn't look like any different than normal water. I mean, there's a couple of odd elements like
Electrolytes.
yeah, some
Mercury.
yeah, bits and pieces like that, but nothing that
Selenium.
you would think would be any like there's certainly no different flavor. It's like 99.94% tap water from what you can work out here.
Well, I'm glad we got it for free.
Corporation Pop, that's what we used to call it, Corporation Pop.
Really curious about what's in the at-home kit, because if it's a tap, I'm not going to be surprised.
Yeah, I'm never really sure how people buy water in bottles when it comes out of the tap.
It falls from the
Is it
sky.
just bottled water?
Yes. Well, it's bottled
But
water.
why would you do that? Unless you're going to put it in like the larder or something for later. Why would you have bottled water?
It's free bottled water.
It was
Easier
true,
than carrying it
was
around in your hands.
free. It doesn't rain
yeah,
all
but-
the time.
but you
Might
can
not
have
have
like
a funnel handy.
Have like a canteen and fill it from the tap or a flask.
Don't
we
have to
have
worry
a
about
tap
losing the
here?
mug.
Oh, yeah.
Do we have a tap? Do we?
But I mean,
Will?
why would people
Will,
buy
have you
it?
seen a tap? Have
I
you
know
seen a
there's.
tap?
Yes, there is a tap. No, it's rusted shut and doesn't work.
There we go.
But why would people buy
Like
water
open a
in
box.
bottles?
Just open the box. Yeah.
All right.
What's in the box, Johnny?
So we crack open one of the Vita Water at Home kits. It looks like we the players would recognize it as some sort of soda stream thing. You can see that there are these charge capsules that you put in. It looks like some sort of kitchen appliance. It's got a plug. It's got a space where you can put a glass. Looks like it's got a hose that you literally fit to your tap. There are some filters that you can put into other bits. Doesn't look nearly as exciting as you'd hoped.
This is not very space age.
Just kitchen stuff.
Eddie will have lost interest in that quite quickly. I mean, was there anything particularly interesting in the random bags of freebies? He will have tipped them onto the floor of the...
Got t-shirts.
T-shirts,
Oh no, wait. Actually,
stickers.
this is quite good because what you've got here, you've got micro compressor. And I'm going to get excited by the technology in the device now and start poking at that.
Gonna shrug. I don't know what he's on about. Well, what's a micro compressor other than
It's a
compressor
small
that's
compressor.
smaller?
Yeah, there
Yeah,
we go.
thanks, Oz.
You got there, Johnny. I'm proud of you.
Can I tinker with
Good
it
work.
to make it shoot something?
Sure, yeah. You're going to make a tinker roll?
Yes, I am. Well, we got 7.
I might slip in another film and start filming this nonsense.
I'm gonna stand behind Oz because I've seen what happens when we tinkers with stuff.
I've got 2 successes on my tinker roll.
All right,
Can we slightly position Eddie in front of him.
No, Eddie, get behind me.
I'm going to turn it into
Eddie
like
will follow Johnny's instructions.
Oh, Johnny,
Eddie's
so
Eddie's
fun.
face.
a homemade air pistol kind of dealio.
Of course, we're young teenage boys in a pillbox. We
make
are going to
projectiles.
weaponize this. Of
Yes,
course we are.
Absolutely.
Yes. So yeah, for one success, of course, you can do that. For a second success, you can either ask me some questions about it or tell me, like, you work out a way that's so easy you can do it to another kit if you find one.
While I'm gutting it,
Mm-hmm.
is there anything unusual about the internal workings of this device?
There's nothing unusual about it. In fact, it's boringly mundane. These charge kits seem to have like a combination of powder, like if you sort of snap one over, they've got like a powder or something in there, which you guess is probably the minerals and vitamins that Dr. V was saying she's going to put in the drinks, to make it Vita water. And there is like a small sort of counter to sort of telegraph to a base station or a home station somewhere how many times it's been used. But it's not active because it's not plugged in, and you use like the compressed sort of fizz, and there must be like a fizz or a still thing on it because some folks like fizzy water. And the at-home kit will do that.
Well, you're going to pay for it. You might as well get bubbles in it.
Well, I bet if we put more of the powder in some of the water they've already given it to us, that's probably already got the powder in. Can we get like extra vitamins? Do you reckon? Will?
Double V.
Double
Yeah.
V.
What if
We
we
could call
put
it-
Ribena in it?
W water.
Oh, we could put some Ribena in it. Yeah. Or squash. Or
Vimto.
Bloody hell.
What happens if you put lemonade in it? Fizz
Oh.
something already fizzy.
Bubbles on bubbles? It's madness, man. What are you talking about?
Well, I reckon if you tried to put something already fizzy in, then you'd be looking at
Meltdown.
not an explosion. No, more. Oh, it's more chemistry. It's not my thing.
What
What do you
if
call it?
we put Mentos in it?
Why would you waste Mentos in lemonade?
Oh,
Rather have Chew-Its.
Chew-Its, man.
There's so many good reasons.
But look, watch this,
Refreshers.
watch, right? And I shall fire off the compressed whatever and spang it around the inside of the pill box. Like, ping, ping, ping,
Ping, ping, ping.
Ah!
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it fires around, makes everybody ducks.
Yep.
Bloody hell, Will.
Oh, look at that. You could get like 4 of those out of one of these things.
Yeah, but don't fire it when we're inside here.
Yeah, but if you fire it outside, I mean, that would go through a car door. You know, like them Black Widow catapults.
yeah.
I mean, they're just silly money. I could never afford one of those. But they say you could. I know a bloke, and he said at his school there was a kid who had one. And he said he shot it through the side of a car door and it hit a bloke in the leg.
Oh,
And
That's
then
the
he
end
ran
of the
off.
story. Well, the bloke ran off after he got shot in the leg.
No, the guy who shot him in the leg ran off. So
Right.
he didn't get in trouble with the police.
Yeah.
Because they're illegal, them Black Widow catapults. That's why you can only buy them in some shops.
is there an advert in the back of my comic for one then?
Well, you know, comic rules are different.
Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah, okay. That's why you can get them X-ray specs and everything.
So, because we're doing a one shot, and everything is on a clock, the scene kind of fades on the general life of teenage kids in their hideaway with stuff, and we're talking about like
banter
and the explosions, and then probably at some point somebody fires the thing at will. There's pandemonium between all of you, and eventually we all sort of head home. So the scene kind of fades on that, and it starts back up when we're all at school. Now I know we're all in different age groups, so we'll be in different classes, and perhaps Johnny sort of doesn't associate with his friends at school, or are you too cool for that, or is everybody like?
I'm popular cool, so people like me cool. I'm approachable cool.
Okay, rather than
aloof. But yeah, so I might not super hang with them at school. Probably not going to hang with Eddie at school because
he's got his entourage at school.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Cool.
But we're probably in the same class.
Yeah. Is Oz? I think Oz is the oldest, isn't he?
I think me and Will were both 14.
Oh, you were 14,
I think
13
Oz
and
is
12.
13.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a group assembly, and the whole school assembly, which is probably only like 2 classes in each age group. Everybody's there, and you're all sat on the floor with some of the older classes allowed to have a chair, or those long benches.
Yep.
The long benches. So
this is nostalgia for everybody else. This is my life.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, Ben.
I forget you're in a school.
Sorry, Ben. So there's a whole school assembly, and the headmistress comes on stage, and we recognise following her up, but now she's, rather than in like cool stage clothes, she's wearing like normal. She's got jeans. She's got a Vita Water t-shirt on. It's Dr. V, and she's there.
It's Eddie's girlfriend.
But loud enough for everyone to hear.
I say it to just some rando next to me. I have no idea who these people are. Nudge, nudge.
I'm trying to think.
Pass it on.
Do you
don't even do your tie up, do you?
No, I've got a scarf on. No one can see my tie.
Effort to be cooler is I'm gonna tell other popular friend next to me is like, I was with Eddie at the weekend and he played on stage with her. Like, cool by association.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Dr. V walks up onto like the small stage in the school with the headmistress, and she's very happy. The teacher's very happy. All the other teachers now, as you look around, they've all got like their own bottle of Vita Water, kind of down by the side of their chair, and everybody's like, some of them are wearing a badge on their shirt, kind of thing. And they all sort of look at Dr. V and the headmistress, and she says, "Great news, kids! Dr. V is here today. She's gonna be doing some science class with some of the older classes. Did you know Dr. V is an accomplished scientist?" She goes on to list some of the PhDs and the research and all the things Dr. V has studied. But she's gonna be leaving some cases of Vita Water for everybody. We're gonna split it up amongst all the classes, and she's gonna sponsor the Vita Water UK Academic Challenge, and it's gonna be held here. And the teacher's like, and it falls flat on all the kids, because obviously it would.
It's just water.
Are they making money if they're just giving it away free everywhere?
Why are all the adults drinking Vita Water and wearing badges suddenly? I mean, they didn't care last week.
Called a cult. I've read about this.
Do you think there's like something in the water?
Oh, you're serious?
Oh no! Sorry, not something in the water. I meant something in the water.
Well, we drank it, and we don't know.
But we're us.
Adults are
stupid and gullible, and
yeah. My mum buys anything she sees on TV.
Buy fizzy water. Why would you buy fizzy water?
Especially when they're giving it away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, you've got other stuff you could buy.
I would drink it.
Yeah, you're an adult. You could drink whatever you wanted to.
Has anyone tried putting bubbles in their tea yet?
Darren at school did that. His mum killed him.
That's why we haven't seen him. Oh.
Can we make...
Darren at school's a bloody liar.
Can one of us make a charm roll?
Yeah, I can do that.
Eddie's going to do a charm roll for
Shotgun,
us.
not me.
Feel I shan't.
That's a nope.
Charm is heart, so 8 dice.
Yeah, that's probably better. I would have had
3.
2.
Do ones do anything? So also
No, no ones in this one. Phew.
Oh, good. Yeah, sorry. Should have probably have asked that earlier.
No. We're only interested in successes in this this game.
Yeah, so 3 successes.
All right. So the first thing, so obviously folks are interested that Eddie was on stage with Dr. V at the weekend. And you notice that some of the folks who are normally Johnny and Will's classes, like it's the older kids who are more interested in this. Maybe 1 or 2 of there must be a 6th form or something attached to the school as well. So it's the older end of the kids. And what strikes you as odd is they're asking what chords did you use when you was playing with Dr. V? Did you prearrange whether it was major or minor? How many notes and how many key changes did you do while you was on stage with her? Was it hard to predict which notation she was gonna play in?
That's too much maths, man. Rocks from the heart.
Did you get 3 successes?
3, yeah.
All right, so you can ask me 2 other questions about what they're kind of interested in, and this is maybe a little bit more meta than you don't have to pick them yourselves. You can check with the other folks what they want to ask or what you think is an important thing to work out from here, because clearly as a GM I'm feeding you something, and maybe even a clue, and if we were playing a longer game I'd be less subtle.
Okay. Eddie's going to want to know why they're so interested specifically in what notes and rhythms, because that seems a bit of a weird question. Normally, no one gives any toss about.
Actually, this whole conversation's just getting a bit weird, because last week these people would have been much more interested in how to turn the compressor into a fork launcher, which incidentally I have managed to work out.
Oh, you got the fork working. Excellent.
Yeah, but the teachers are interested in you making weapons for different reasons than you're interested in you making weapons.
Yeah, probably don't mention that right now.
We'll get detention.
Yeah.
We're not going to get detention because it's not a fork launcher, it's an automated washing up device.
That fires forks into
Well, you
the
put
sink.
the cutlery in it at the table and it transports them to the sink ready for washing.
At
I
high
don't think my
velocity.
mum would like that.
So we want to know
The velocity is customizable.
Between fast
What-
and none.
fast and deadly.
If I threw a fork, my mum would ground me. I
Well,
can't
exactly.
see she being
You get in
too
so much trouble
appreciative
for
of me
throwing a
launching
fork,
one.
but this is an automated fork forwarding device.
Does it do other cutlery?
Spoons.
Spoons. Okay.
It would be irresponsible of me to suggest using it on knives.
No.
What
Different
about
shape
the
handle.
barbecue forks? You know, the ones with the real pointy ends?
Ooh,
Do they
that's
fit in?
true.
That's borderline.
The handle's a bit big
knives.
on those,
Oh,
and
yeah.
steak knives would be very irresponsible. I can't get it to pass through a car door yet, though, but I've managed to push it through wood.
Whose
So
car
if you're-
door have you practiced on?
Better not
If
be
you-
my dad's scimitar.
Of course, it's not your dad's car. I mean, it's the
It's
old...
the tractor, isn't it?
No, it's not the tractor. We need that.
So
Um,
Tractor parts.
So
by the
there
way.
are things that would be derelict around Loopland, and Will being a hick and having a farm. There's probably like in the image behind you, Ben. There's probably things like that not far from your farm that you could test your fork forwarding device upon. However, Johnny Eddie is chatting with these people as they're asking, and is that what you do? You question them, like, why are you interested in this kind of thing?
That's what Eddie's.
All of a sudden.
To be honest, Eddie won't probably outright ask that because he never gets this attention. And to him, this is like, oh, I'm almost famous.
You're a rock star, man.
Yeah, it's kind of what he's thinking. So he's trying to work out why they are so interested in the.
Are we able to talk to Eddie, or is this like because it's a school assembly? Like,
no, I think this is probably at lunchtime or the first break time
okay.
when there's been time for your sort of gossip to disseminate across the school. That Eddie and Dr. V were on stage, and people put 2 and 2 together and go, oh, yeah, I saw him on Granada tonight. They played that video, that kind of stuff, sort of thing. And it's Eddie kind of thing. And these kids
get a stand with Eddie because
yeah.
I need
So I guess that's what Johnny realizes. They're asking Eddie a lot of like it's a quest for knowledge where previously you've experienced them, and they'll be like, is she fit? How close did you get her? What does she smell like? Did you did you touch her bum? That kind of stuff while you were on stage. That's typically.
She smell like.
I know, right? Kids.
So accurate and so creepy.
Yeah. So typically they'd be asking Eddie these kind of questions, but they're not. They're asking them like, what key did she play in? How many notes and all that kind of stuff.
Why are you so interested in the notes?
And they sort of look at Leo and look at Johnny like a little bit confused, and one of the older kids at the back of the group goes, listen, look, this sort of attention to detail and improving yourself, it's what Dr. V's all about. Why aren't you interested?
Are they wearing badges? Do they have any kind of Vita?
Do you have that on a pamphlet that we could read?
Symbols on them.
Maybe 1 or 2 of them have got like the key ring attached to their school clothes. You see one of them's got like a bottle already. Some of them have probably done that thing where you put the plastic bottles in the oven and they shrink down, and therefore you can then attach them to your school bag as a cool keyring that nobody else has. Yeah. Folks have done that.
That was a thing.
That was a thing. Yeah.
That was a thing.
Wow.
Yeah. But we still have one more thing we can try and infer from this scene where they're sort of questioning Eddie in completely the wrong way.
Does it seem like they're under the influence of something? A bit, like Ritalin, sort of the thing that they might give the more excitable kids?
They definitely seem more focused on like learning than you've ever seen them before. Like to Johnny, it would be a stark change, because normally it's like, did you see how stupid they looked on a Challenge Annika last week? And I watched Newsround and it was totally like, whatever, Blue Peter's naff and whatever the 80s equivalent of Britain's Got Talents. Yeah, that kind of stuff. Top of the Pops and that kind of stuff. Normally they're all over that, and it's like the sort of lower end of this conversation. Now they're all interested in things, and you can see actually some of them are taking notes. When Eddie is like, no, we played in diminished fifth, they're like, oh, diminished fifth, yeah, that's really good.
What the hell?
That kind of thing. And
Matthew, you know nothing about music.
Yeah,
Stop writing it down.
Are these people that are asking me, do I know any of them are musicians?
I don't think they, like, you have mandatory music class, and they've probably like hit a triangle once.
Get the box
But they're
with
not
the
people I know
beans
that
in
are
it.
like in school bands. Or
No. So eventually, like, I think a teacher or someone comes out onto the yard and shouts something like, Mr. Phillips is going to run an extra science class right now if anybody wants to attend. And you see about half a dozen kids actually consider it. and they head off across the yard. And then
that's not right.
And then somebody else is like,
Weird
and
going on here.
Mrs. Lewis wants to run an English grammar class.
Oh, hell no.
And then another bunch of kids head off that way.
Wait, are they in detention? Do they have to do that?
There's something very weird going on here.
Oz, you're our benchmark for weird, but that's weird, right?
Oh, this is slugs in the brain weird. This is not right.
Why do
This
people
is like
want to
in
do
that
more
one comic
English?
when the soldiers got, like you said, brain slugs.
Yeah.
And they
One
hit
of them
under their
whirly
hats.
hypno wheel things, something like that.
Yeah, it's the mind control that they used.
Yeah.
Weird.
Do we need to
You'd
pin
have to
someone
use
down and
mind
check them
control
for
to
brain
make me
slugs?
want to go to English.
The English grammar.
Yeah,
I mean, it's almost as bad as poetry.
they're probably writing
There's nothing
poetry
wrong with
right
poetry.
Should we go have a look, like try and spy through the class and see what they're doing, if it is just a
You want to
class or...
spy on grammar?
They might not be doing grammar.
I'm gonna spy on science.
Maybe they're doing something else.
Because
Oh, right. So you think that there's like a conspiracy?
Well, if Oz said it's a cult, maybe it's like a code word, and they're like, "Oh, come do grammar," but actually they're watching.
sacrificing sheep.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean that's what Oz's cult would do, but yeah.
Well, yeah. Then you get food afterwards. You know? Sensible, isn't it?
So,
Politely ignore.
so are we thinking about we want to sneak around school and spy on some of the classes?
And try and see what classes are going
If
on.
we could do it from outside, because we all know creeping around the hallways is that is a hiding to detention. That is.
Oh, come on, lean in. Lean in.
So,
Right,
so
stick
there's
round the outside, please, Bob.
a mechanic in here called Extended Trouble. And this is where I was mentioning before, multiple successes. And it's a montage. It's a good old 80s montage.
Yay.
Yeah. So in order
Everybody needs a montage.
yeah.
Even Rocky had a montage.
Even Rocky had a montage. In order to get everything we want out of this sort of sneak around school, this montage, we're going to need collectively 8 successes, which is just a standard Extended Trouble.
On what are we rolling?
Well, that's the next bit. So we need to devise a bit of a plan of what we're going to do. So is this the sort of thing where we're going to sneak around and somebody's going to lift somebody else up and somebody else is going to keep watch in case a teacher comes and somebody is going to... You tell me, what's the plan for sneaking around? How do we...
I'll be like the
Give me
lookout, but if a teacher finds us, because everyone likes me, I'm gonna come up with an excuse as to why we're in there, and it's gonna be a very good excuse.
Okay.
Give me a boost. I can get on top of the science block.
All right.
I can
I'm
look
on-
in through the skylight. They'll never look up.
I'm on
Like
boost
dogs.
duty.
All right, so...
You get suspended if you get caught up there, though. So
He's not going to get
He's
caught
not
if
gonna
I
get
boost
caught.
him up
He's
there.
not
He'll
gonna
be
get
up
caught.
too quick.
So
Where
Will
do you want me?
is going to boost Johnny onto the roof. No, Eddie onto the roof. Johnny is going to be the deceptive kind of face of watching out. And what's Oz going to do? What's
Oz, do you reckon you could
Staff room.
staff room?
Staff room.
If you get in the staff room and see if they've got like a stash of that water or something.
okay? So
If
so
I get
it,
stuck, someone is going to have to make a distraction.
Well,
Right.
if Johnny goes with you,
yeah,
then he can distract the teachers. I'll have Sunshine up on the roof in no time.
All right.
all right. So
you're just gonna throw him over.
Yeah.
yoink.
Launch him.
I got
Alright.
6 successes. Oh, he's in orbit.
He's gone into the next town. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So Will is going to do a force roll. Is that right?
Yeah.
Eddie is going to do an investigate roll. Is that right?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll give that a go.
Or what else are you suggesting as you look in through the science?
No, it's going to be
Can
investigate.
before we do it, can I lead?
I never said I was very good at this.
Yes, you can.
Ooh, a bit of
Awesome.
leading would be helpful.
Or leading.
All
would
right.
be
So
good.
before we begin in this, Johnny is going to give us like an inspiring
Or is
speech
it the
moment.
speech?
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Something's going on. Don't be wankers, right?
Inspired.
Perfect.
We'll
yeah,
just
no
get him up there
tossing
enough.
off on the job, right?
I feel that right here.
Just get him up there enough. Eddie, be careful. Don't fall through the skylight. It's plastic, all right?
Yeah, don't lean
Slip
on
on
it.
any of
Spread
the
your
glass.
weight.
shit that's up there.
Spread your weight. It's important.
So yeah, you're going to make a lead roll, and depending on how many successes you get, will give us a pool of bonus dice we can use.
Okay. You threw it, so it's right. 1 success.
All right, let me just
Better
check.
than nothing.
I rolled so many dice.
This is where I need to double check in the book for how many dice this is. Oh, and then I throw my GM screen on the floor.
I didn't get the GM screen now, I'm jealous.
There's always
To be
the
honest,
future.
I use the GM screen more than I use the book. I only get the book out when I... there we go. So we're on page 74 of the book.
It's too late.
I found the GM screen very useful in Mutant Year Zero as well.
Yeah.
Anytime I needed to murder a player, it was right there.
So
To pick up and hit them
basically
with?
all the time.
All right. So 1 success from the "Don't be a wanker" speech equals 2
I want
bonus.
that on a t-shirt.
Don't be a wanker. 2 bonus dice we can use throughout this extended trouble to give us a bonus if we need it. As you suddenly go, yeah, no being a wanker. Right. Okay. Yeah, got it. Kind of thing. So we had a force roll from Will. We had a investigate roll from Eddie. Johnny is gonna charm a teacher away from the staff room, and Oz is gonna go in there and just sneak in there and have time to look around.
Ones don't count, right?
Yeah.
Oh. In which case, I got 4 successes.
4 successes. All right.
Success.
Okay.
1.
So the best way to do this is before we announce all our successes. So Ben, you got 4. We don't think we're going to need to push your roll, because in extended trouble, if you don't get enough successes, you can push the roll more than once. In fact, in extended trouble, you could push yourself until broken in order to succeed. That's the only time you can push more than once. So we start this montage with Will literally like, all right, Eddie.
Up my hands and let him do a little run up, and then hoist him up in such a way that the rugby coach wouldn't take "I've got chores" for an excuse anymore.
And Eddie gets some good air as he's going up onto the science block.
Airborne, he will be like,
Sorry, I'm used to chucking 14-year-olds, and you're a bit smaller.
Yeah. Eddie,
pretending to air guitar on the way.
Eddie, how many successes did you get?
I got 1.
All right, so we're up to 5 successes right now. Do you feel like you need to push the roll or use any luck to get any further than this?
No, I'm pretty sure other people are far more competent at this than I am.
All right, so we watch as Will launches Eddie up onto the roof. He does maybe a bit of a power slide on the top, and then you see him looking through the skylight. Meanwhile, down near the staff room, what is Johnny doing? Is he like, oh, miss, I wonder if you could just help me, or what is he doing for the distraction?
Yeah, he's gonna see a teacher that's about to go up to the staff room, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, Miss, wanted to talk to you something I saw out on the playground earlier. It was about this Vita stuff going on. Dr. V trying to get her interest to see if."
Yeah, so you mentioned Vita Water, and the teacher immediately goes, "Do you have your bottle of Vita Water? Look, come this way. I've got a case over in the supply cupboard. We can get you some more water if you've left it back in one of your classes."
That would be great.
And the teacher then immediately diverts to the nearest stationery cupboard with you to get you more Vita Water. How many successes did you get?
I got 1, and I'm wondering, can I use my luck?
Yes, you can use your luck.
1 additional success, so 2 together.
6. So that brings us up, if my maths is right, 4 from Ben, 1 from Roger, and 2 more from you. So that brings us up to 7. So we only need 1 more to get everything we want from this. As they're like, yeah, okay, come on. did you know you could get like a badge? Have you seen the badges? Have you thought about maybe taking up some extra classes? What do you think about studying calculus? Do you want to do some extra algebra? I hear it's a bit oversubscribed, but I think if you were to and that's what we hear, like this teacher pushing math on you. they head up the roll.
Alphabet. Yeah, let's do that one.
Yeah. So as Johnny and the teacher go the opposite way, Oz the ghost sneaks into the room, and the fortunately the staff room is empty. And did you get more than one success?
I got one success.
Exactly the right amount of successes.
Exactly one success.
All right. So, what we see is Eddie looking down into the science classroom, and there are people like normally with science class. Perhaps there are like kids trying to burn the girls in front with the Bunsen burners, or do the thing where you turn melting pens. Yeah, Ben's got a good handle on all these stupid things that they're trying to do.
Your initials in the desk.
Yeah,
making darts with paper and firing them out of rubber bands.
Oh, yeah.
And this is weird because this classroom, everybody's like enraptured by the teacher telling them science, and you can see them making notes, and they're politely putting their hands up. And you actually hear like one of them going, yes, but I've read ahead. And on page 23, it talks about, and they go on to, and the teacher goes, oh, well done. And everybody's like, oh, and rather than like, yeah, you swat or whatever else other kids might normally take here, the other kids are like, wow, they're doing advanced stuff. How do we? And you see them all like, oh, kind of thing, really excited that they're going to read ahead and learn more science, and the teacher is praising them, and they're learning more. And it's like, the pod people have taken over. These are not the older kids you've seen around school before now. Oz, as you can see like there's a bunch of Vita Waters. There's a Vita Water at home next to the kettle. In fact, the kettle has been unplugged, so they can plug the Vita Water at home in.
What unholy monstrosity is this?
I know. Yeah.
No dirty coffee cups.
No.
I feel that Oz has probably been in here before.
Possibly.
Just for curiosity.
Yeah.
Know thine enemy.
Well, yeah. Know where things are.
Yeah.
And if stuff gets confiscated, where does it go?
And there's like what would it be called? Like the Vita Water academic plan on the table as well. And then also like a flyer for the academic challenge, which is dated like a few days from now.
Grab the flyer at least.
Mm-hmm.
Can I have a look over the academic plan? Is there just one? Is it going to be noticeable if I take it with me?
It might, but it depends on how much
care.
You care, and if you think anybody spotted you, and you're fairly sure that Johnny managed to deflect this all away, and all the other teachers are enraptured by the kids teaching.
I'm going to fold it up and... Is there anybody's jackets hanging up? Anything else going on?
Yeah, there's teachers' belongings in here. It's a staff room.
Here. I'll just have a little explore.
All right, you find all kinds of weird teacher things. Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
That's an exhaustive list. I've seen things.
I've seen things. Yeah, there are keys, there are pens, there's lots of pen lids, there's
When I was doing
notebooks.
STEM stuff, I got to see a teacher staff room for the first time, and I was so underwhelmed.
I know.
Like, as a kid, I thought there was going to be so much stuff in there.
Yeah.
You see it as an adult, you go, this is a really sad staff room by like adult work standards.
Basically a crap cafeteria.
Yes. Yes.
If you're extra lucky.
Yeah, if you're lucky.
They don't have any biscuits, and they only seem to be drinking Vita Water.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
no.
Oh, that's bad.
No,
Yeah.
no, no. This is all
There's-
wrong.
There's something very wrong here. There's no tea. There's no biscuits. Oh, there's something very odd going on here. All right, I'm going to grab the plan and I'm going to listen at the door
Mm-hmm.
just to check, and then slip out
No.
before anybody comes back.
So we kind of fade from Oz slipping back into school, perhaps back to the pillbox, or maybe as we're walking, or are we all sat around a table at lunch or something? Where are we going to huddle and talk about? Like
Eat lunch because I want to know what they saw.
Yeah. All right.
What was going on?
So obviously,
I've got all this extra kit, and for some reason, I've signed up to algebra lessons.
You've got like 3 bottles of Vita Water kind of thing. So yeah, we have the dinner ladies who are handing out food, all the fizzy pop and all the cartons of juice or whatever is normally available has been replaced, and there's just Vita Water.
Where's the Vimto?
Chips, please.
Boris, can I have a glass of water, please, from the tap?
So you ask the dinner lady if you can have. Is that what? And she looks at you and she says, "You mean we've got one of the. Do you want the fizzy one? I can get the."
No, from the tap.
And she genuinely like. Okay, I'm not sure this is allowed. And she just heads off and she brings you back like a glass of plain tap water, puts it on your tray, and she's like, "Enjoy your pizza."
Right, time for a real test. Sausage, chips, and beans, please.
Yeah, no, the food is still the same. Sausage, chips, and beans. They haven't changed their catering budget yet.
Spaghetti, hoops, and chips.
I know. Gosh.
What every growing boy needs.
If that had been like salad and bruschetta, it was all over.
Oh, just
What's bruschetta?
time to leave. It's a sort of flat bread, I believe.
Flat stale
Why would you
bread.
want flat bread?
Well,
It's worse than that. It's stale bread.
if someone sat on your loaf and you let it go stale, that's what that is.
Sounds terrible.
It is. It's very chewy. It's not
Give me
worth
some
it.
Mighty White any day.
Proper bread. Yeah.
Proper bread.
I'll have chips with chips, please.
Chips with chips.
Oh, the diet of the children of the 80s.
Yeah. Chips with chips. And
The industrial bottle of ketchup.
a finger roll, like a piece of bread roll with a strip of white icing on it.
Yeah.
An iced finger. That clunk.
Can I have a fist?
Yeah. No.
Ketchup bottles that have got such a thick layer of crud around the top of them that you're not sure where the nozzle actually begins.
Yeah.
I don't need to know. It's fine.
Yeah.
Stale jam donuts.
Yes.
Oh, I used to pay for them and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Johnny has a packed lunch.
Johnny's the only kid in school who has like a carton of Ribena or something. Or is it like a like it's not an off-brand, you know, like you get less cool version.
Bungo.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Pops.
yeah, you've got the actual brand cool drink. And ordinarily this would be a really cool thing and everybody would be like, "Dad, Johnny, look, he's got proper pop again." Meanwhile, and now everybody's like, "Vita Water?" You know that kind of thing. Yeah.
Well, we'll go take our usual table at the back.
At the back,
That's-
in the corner.
That's my usual table anyway.
Yeah.
Did you find anything? Yeah, we'll set at Oz's table.
Yeah.
Wow, other people at my table. Bloody hell. It is a
No, all
cold.
those other tables are creepy, man.
Well, yes. I will take
No, I
a
mean, not all
long,
the time, just today.
refreshing drink from my glass of water.
I mean, did you see her pour it from the tap?
Yes.
True.
Yes, he did.
Yes, I did. Doris is not that cunning.
Don't really need a drink, I've got beans.
Yeah, fair enough. Right, I've got a flyer and I've got a plan. I
Is that
will
it?
pull this out of my coat, unroll it.
Oh, okay, that's a big plan.
Yeah.
We're going to stick it to the man.
Well, let's see what the man is up to, and then yes.
I don't like the look of that timetable. There's altogether far too much maths on that.
There
What
is.
is on the academic plan?
All right, so the academic plan does indeed have less breaks and more classes, and then optional classes after school. But some of them have got notes around them, like Tracy from 4C wants to sign up to this. Can we run an extra class of this? Because she also wants to sign. Like, there's loads of like post-it kind of notes in it for things like that. There's after school classes, and some of them are even suggesting, because they're so oversubscribed, we might have to run this on a Saturday and stuff like that.
This is madness.
Yeah. It also talks about improving the learning environment by bringing in some of the radios. Dr. V has formed a partnership with the local radio station, I don't know, Garblag FM, to play her learning album to enhance the academic feeling at school. And they're going to start that from tomorrow afternoon. Dr. V's providing the extra radios. The schedule is to have them delivered tonight, and hopefully across tomorrow morning they'll all be installed in all the classrooms, so all the classes
No,
can
that's
hear.
not right. I've been in school for 10 years, and in all that time, I have never seen anybody organise anything in a week.
Yeah.
That's weird. But also,
Yeah,
like, the music again. And Eddie, the kids were asking you about the music.
It's like a soundtrack, isn't it? You know,
Yeah, really weird questions.
all
as well.
good films have a soundtrack.
Yeah, but teachers don't listen to music, so they're not going to have it in school, are
No,
they?
last time I put Van Halen on in class, they took my Walkman. My
That is-
mum gave me such a bollocking when I got home.
That is rude. Did you
Yeah,
get another
Mr.
one?
Bronson's a dick.
Oh, they gave it back eventually, but I had to last 3 days without my Walkman.
Last time I was in the staff room, I found Mr. Bronson's toupee.
I knew that wasn't real.
Do
Yeah,
you reckon that Dr. V's still in the school?
don't know.
I hope so, but I hope she's not in on it. She seemed really nice.
Maybe she's got, like,
I think
a
she
car
might be.
here or something we can find.
I think I might have to do some chemistry.
Sounds boring.
Because I think there's
Unless
something
you're
in the
blowing
water.
something up again, that was fun.
Because you think there's something in the water. Yes, I think there's probably something in the water.
Oh, I thought you wanted to start doing after-school classes.
Yeah,
I
that,
thought
I
you
was
got
God,
really
no.
worried for a moment there.
I mean,
That was...
I might.
All right,
but-
Will,
No,
Hang on.
not for like, because it's fun. But I've been thinking about doing drama club.
You see, I thought about doing music, but then they started talking about Bach and Beethoven. That's not a proper music. Where's Alice Cooper?
Didn't Beethoven do that Rock Me Amadeus song?
you did roll over Beethoven. I know that one.
No, that wasn't him.
Tell Tchaikovsky the news. I know that song. I like that song.
You got that reference?
The 1812 Overture has got nothing on ZZ Top.
No one in the 1812 Overture can spin their instrument around on their belt buckle, can they?
No, but it does have cannons in it. Come on.
That takes
Fair
a lot of practice.
It does. It really, that's
I
timing.
broke two
that is.
guitars learning how to do that.
Oh, we mean guitars, not cannons. Okay.
Back, nobody spins a cannon around their belt buckle, not if they know what they're doing.
I don't know if I had enough practice.
You've all got ADD as kids. Johnny's like, are we going to a lab or what?
We've
Because
lost
I finished
our
my
Vimto,
sandwiches.
spaghetti hoops and chips.
Spaghetti
Haven't finished with
hoops.
chips yet.
The
I've got
added
chips
sugar.
here.
This is what happens when kids have that many E numbers.
Yeah. So as we sort of zoom out a bit to the crew, and they're talking about cannons in music, and also maybe we need to do a little bit of science and that kind of stuff. The camera sort of moves out a bit and through the canteen, and you can see that where normally people are talking about what happened on EastEnders or that kind of stuff, they're actually like. I think Eddie will realise some of them, the kid who was like, I read ahead, I was being a SWAT. Some of the kids from that class have come over, and he's sort of going, so what I learned when I read ahead, and they're like this unprecedented situation of them actually liking it when someone's displayed academic prowess. And nobody...
Ben cry.
Yeah, nobody is like slapping people across the back of the head or calling them a nerd or anything. it's strange.
Often.
Mm. And so what do we want where do we want to start the next scene? What do we want to achieve from the
In
sort
a separate window, I do have Vita Water supplies for schools open at the minute.
of Vita Water enrollment program? Dr. V with a violin. Yeah. What do we?
Will, what do you reckon if we go to the lab? What if you look at the water and Eddie plays the song that she was playing? Can you remember that?
I haven't got my guitar here. They kept taking it off me when I brought it into school.
Yeah, but we could
But there'll
take
be a
one from
guitar in
music.
the music school. We can nick one from there while Mr. Ambrose is out.
Be a bit of a rubbish one, but I could probably do it.
Well, even one of those little tiny guitars.
What, a ukulele?
Oh no, not a ukulele.
Who do I
It only
bloody look
plays
like?
two
George Formby?
chords. That's a banjo, mate.
So-
it's not
Is it a
proper
ukulele
guitar.
or a banjo? I'm not sure anymore.
But they're both too small.
But if we take one of those and we go to the science lab, and I didn't think of that. That's good thinking, Johnny. I was just going to science the water and see if there's anything in it.
I reckon there's got to be something with the music. Eddie, I'll go with you to music, and we'll get a guitar out,
Oh,
and we'll meet you, Will, in chemistry, and Oz can be there.
All right, Oz.
Thanks, Johnny.
Do you want to come set fire to stuff?
Yes.
We're going to be
Mostly
a science lab.
This plan.
see, Eddie wants to go see things get set on fire, but
But you
Johnny
have to
wants
bring a
hang out
guitar
with me,
and
start
Bring a
arguing.
guitar, then you can set that on fire like Jimi Hendrix did.
That's a plan. All right. So
Sold.
so we're gonna go to the what's our approach going to get the guitar or some sort of stringed instrument? Is it, dear Mr. Ambrose, we would like to borrow the guitar for more, we're going to charm him, or we're going to sneak in and
Yeah.
just steal it?
No,
Really
I'm
charming.
gonna-
Everyone's
yeah,
asking
charming.
for extra music stuff, so
yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna go. People keep asking me about the music I played with Dr. V. Can I borrow a guitar? I'm going to show them.
Okay.
I was
Um,
there, so it was really good.
Yeah, I
I'm
think.
sorry, we've got no guitars left, but here's this sitar.
Ding!
So you can aid other players when you make rolls in Tales from the Loop. One person will essentially give a dice to another person. If you push or if you suffer any consequences from failing the roll, the person who aided you also takes that consequence.
Nice.
Yeah, so you both go down with whatever failing that went there. So who's going to make a roll and who is going to aid them? If
I'm
you
on
want.
much better terms with the teachers, but Eddie has the guitar, so
And yeah, I'll try and
he's
charm
the
them.
musician.
All right.
You're going to charm them. Okay, I will assist.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I get an extra dice.
You get an
He was
extra
really good
dice
at the
from
weekend,
Johnny.
so you should have
Right.
seen him. He was up there.
Don't
Dr. V
panic.
thought it was really good.
I'm on 9 dice for this.
Crowd were
Wow.
all cheering. They reckon he's like prodigy or something. They said the word.
2 successes.
Charm offensive. All right. So Mr. Ambrose is like, oh, I saw you on Granada tonight. Yes, you did. You played. It was a bit showy with that power slide you did under the balloon arch. I feel if you'd have stood still, people would have been able to have paid a little bit more attention to the musical notes you chose in that piece there.
But sir, you've got to feel the music.
And he just looks at you like, no.
Get the guitar ready.
Yeah. So yeah, he will provide you a guitar. Unfortunately, it's not a cool electric guitar. It's an acoustic
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah, you're gonna do a bit kumbaya in the science lab. Is there anything you would like from that second success? Is there anything like?
A better guitar.
No, there's no like the school's not that funded
An
yet.
amp.
An amp for the acoustic. Maybe no.
Little hand cymbals, maybe.
Oh yeah, you want some extra percussions? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
would have been better if you'd got the sitar.
No, it's got to be one of the little drums that they have in there.
Little snare drum.
Yeah.
Is that what we're putting? All right. So yeah, Mr. Ambrose gives Johnny a snare drum. He says, perhaps you can practice and make sure that and
I will, sir.
yeah, he's like very.
Actually, a snare drum will pick up resonant harmonics from the guitar if you've got them close enough, and will be able to sort of vibrate alongside it. So, not the worst thing we could have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Johnny doesn't know that.
Johnny.
I'll get my coat.
Yeah. Johnny's just like, oh, thanks. Now I've got to do music, kind of thing.
I hit this with a stick, right?
As he signs up to music as well.
I'm
as
supposed to be the
maths.
lead singer.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
my
did you want a tambourine? Is that why you wanted to be the lead singer? Ching, ching,
I think
ching.
you wanted to be the manager.
Oh, okay. So we head over to which science department? Like, have we just found like the technicians' room or something? Have we?
No, that
this
place
is
would be
the
like a
temporary
trap.
science building.
Mm-hmm.
Temporary.
The
for the last
porter
20
cabin
years.
that was built 20 years ago
Yeah. Yeah.
as an extra lab. The one that is drafty and none of the teachers sit in because they've got their own little science staff room, because science teachers always have their own little science staff room.
Yeah.
Which
They're
means
better
this
than the
place
other
is the
teachers.
furthest away from the science department whilst still having all of the equipment that we need
Okay. Yeah, I like
for a
it.
given value of equipment.
Yeah. So you're there. You haven't quite built down the science porter cabin yet. When Johnny and Eddie arrive with a snare drum and an acoustic guitar.
Why do you have a drum?
Why not?
Outlaws.
Every good band needs a drummer.
Snare drums can pick up harmonics from guitars really well.
Have you been drinking that water?
Has somebody got some water?
Yeah.
I've got like
pockets full
3
of it.
bowls of it, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's got 3
okay.
bowls.
Yes, right.
Tom's
I'd like
on
to imagine
Will.
like Will goes, has somebody got some water? And the camera pans out to like a pallet in the corner of the room ready to hand out to anybody. Like, there's just bucketfuls of it everywhere. They've got like 2-litre bottles down this way because it's so far away. It's that kind of thing.
Right, I need a Bunsen burner. I need
Jack.
some indicator
I'll go
Yeah.
to the
stuff,
cupboards to get stuff. Luckily it's labelled.
Mm-hmm.
and I'll rattle off a couple of
Eddie will
utterly
just get
irrelevant
distracted and
chemicals
start
that
playing.
sound sciencey in a TV program in the 80s that won't actually do anything
I'll need
Yeah.
some phenolphthalein.
naturally.
Need
Universal
some
indicator.
litmus paper.
Yeah,
And
3 strips of magnesium and a large lump of sodium.
Yes. Yeah.
No,
Oh.
that's
And then
just
I will
for fun.
attempt to science the water to find out what's watting with it. Is there anything unusual or not? We know it just tastes like water, but there's something not right about this stuff.
Eddie,
No,
can you remember the song?
assist.
Well, I would hope that everybody can assist because Eddie's going to be in charge of playing the music
Mm-hmm.
to see if
Stop
that
playing
has an
Led
effect.
Zeppelin and go. Oh yeah. I can do that.
I'm going to be lab assistant. I'm going to put on a lab coat over my overcoat
Mm-hmm.
because I don't take my overcoat off.
Just bang the drum when you feel you should.
I'm going to bang the drum when I feel I should.
Randomly.
You can be my Keith Moon.
Boom.
Keith Moon. Excellent. So what role are we making here? Are we gonna calculate? I would suggest, unless you're gonna try and
I was
negotiate.
thinking tech and comprehend, if that's
Comprehend?
acceptable.
Comprehend
Yes.
is mind, though.
Yes, it is. Tech and calculate might be better then.
Okay, yeah, I could go for tech and calculate.
If
That's
tech and calculate is okay for you.
let's
Oh, of course, because you have to do them under the right skill.
yeah.
There's me with my Vampire the Masquerade mind on.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not how it works.
Oh, I've got a reroll. Sweet.
Yeah, that's cool. Calculate. Know how technical items work, how to use them, manipulate or destroy them.
Okay.
Yeah,
that works.
I could.
Sounds like Will.
Yeah, I think that sounds appropriate. Yeah.
So I am going to try and calculate the additives to this water to see if there's something funky going on with it.
Mhm.
While Eddie plays the jingle
Mhm.
to see if it has some kind of triggering effect.
Okay. Sure.
I'm not too sure on the psychology side of things, and chemistry's not really my favourite, but we'll see what we can do.
Mhm. Sure.
Might get some more bottles, get some of those big 2-litre ones.
Yeah. So
See if the
is
response is more obvious.
Oz helping Will? Is there a dice of
Yeah.
help from there?
Yes,
And then
definitely.
obviously Eddie's helping Will by playing the music. And Johnny, are you really helping Will, or are you just playing the drums when you feel like it?
I don't think I can help Will in this one.
Okay. See?
I'm going to keep a lookout.
Oh, okay, cool. So Will has an extra 2 dice to his
Okay.
calculate roll.
I've got 1 success so far,
Mhm.
and then I have my 2 extra dice, and there's 1 more extra success.
All right.
So 2 successes on sciencing the water.
Yeah, would you like to push this roll to maybe get extra successes to find out more things? Do you have? I mean, I guess we've been given a reroll there, so if you wanted to use that to get the extra, roll the extra dice, perhaps, or you could take a condition or use some luck.
I think I will use my luck. Can I? How many do I re-roll if I'm using my luck?
So
Everything but your successes.
Yeah.
Everything but my successes. And another 1.
All right, so we've got 3 successes. So there's a bit of like a time lapse of like Will doing country science kind of thing.
Chemistry.
But yeah.
I'll
And
just keep handing him reagents.
yeah, just handing him stuff.
one.
And
Oh,
there must be one.
just-
Yeah, there must be one point where he does that, like, and puts it far away from us, kind of thing.
It's a baby pig in formaldehyde.
Oh, is that what that was? Sorry, you wanted frogs. Back in a minute.
I was going, oh no, I brought that from home.
That in
Sorry,
the back.
wrong pocket.
Yeah. And it's not till it's not till you've maybe boiled off maybe half the water from one of the things. So you've reduced it, and there's a higher concentration of whatever the Vita mix is, that you notice very slightly when Eddie brings the acoustic guitar quite close. There's a very slight vibration, like a sympathetic vibration in the water when Eddie plays the Vita Water tune.
It's not
That's,
normal.
that's just weird, and I shall push my safety glasses up on top of my head.
What happened, Will?
The music activates the water. Once the water's like gone, some of it's gone. Once you take the water out, concentrated. Once you've got the Vitamix stuff, and you play the music near it, it does something to activate it, and it's like vibrating in sympathy. Do you know how a speaker works? Have you ever taken a speaker apart?
No.
No.
Why not?
Has Eddie
I've
never
seen
taken
the
it?
inside of one when I kicked it over once.
Yeah, well, like that, but you know the speaker moves and goes.
Oh yeah.
That's got a really big magnet in it.
Yeah, but it vibrates back and forth, and that's what these crystals are doing. They're like going woo, 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 woo. And look, if I put some under a microscope and we look through here, you
Sure.
can see the crystals pulsating.
All right.
Is it just if I play that song? If I play something else, are they still going to
Yeah,
do
play
it?
something else. Play some
We'll
Van
try
Halen.
something different. Oh, hang on, this is the 80s. We wouldn't have binocular microscopes
Yeah,
in
no,
school.
just
Get out of the light, Johnny.
you've probably got like 3 magnifying glasses taped together with a cardboard tube around them. That's what you've got. So we've got two more successes. We got 3 in total, didn't we? So
Yes.
we've got 2 more successes that we can.
If we change the music, does it change the vibration? That's one of our extra questions.
Very slightly. It seems to be there's definitely a very obvious resonance when the Vita Water tune is played. Obviously there's a little bit, and depending on like which notes, you see different crystals vibrating in different speeds, depending on where Eddie is tuning.
And I guess my last question then, is this something that is organic in nature, or is it chemically produced?
It's very definitely chemically produced.
All right, science will.
Fellas, I think Dr. V might be a bad guy.
So, if this stuff is inside someone, what difference does it make if it's vibrating?
Signing up for extra school classes.
That's a biology question, and
So it's mind control.
But yeah, so
But they're already mind controlled and they haven't got the music. So is it just going to be worse come tomorrow?
much. I think the crystals are in there and they're doing their job. They're vibrating. But we drank some of the water and none of it's happened to us.
Or maybe we just haven't drunk that much.
Or maybe Eddie provides us with a natural immunity. through the power of rock music.
Well,
And I shall say that totally unironically.
Oh yeah.
Like a good
Because
kid.
it's the 80s.
Rock will
Eddie
save
will look
us.
really pleased when you say
Johnny's-
that.
Johnny will think that sounds plausible as well.
So, if one piece of music makes everyone more mind controlled, could a different piece of music undo that?
Oh, physics question.
No. Do we save the school with rock and roll? Question.
Yes.
Right.
But
So,
Eddie,
I'm going to need a bigger amp.
you're
Yep.
going to need to be plugged into the
the
school's
radio
PA
station.
system.
is it coming from the radio or is it coming from the school?
That's like putting on a show.
It's like putting on a show, only you've got to play a specific set of harmonics because
I mean, what do you need? Either Tiger, Paradise City, Welcome to the Jungle, Who Made Who, Runaway. What do you want?
Thunderstruck.
somewhere
I can
between
do that.
all of them maybe because the music from the crystals is doing this. We need something that does this so that the two of them are cancelling each other out and we end up getting a flat line. So we need the opposite of her song.
All right.
So you
Well-
need to work out what the opposite of her song is.
We've got
What's the
recording.
opposite of like fiddly violin music?
Maybe Beethoven's cannons might be useful.
What about Alice Cooper?
Yeah.
Well, look, you're a musician, right? So I don't get music. You have to turn that into its opposite, which is that.
Well, we've got the VCR of the performance.
Okay, so
My dad really likes jazz, and that always sends me out of the room.
No. No jazz. There is never a good reason for jazz.
I would like everybody to make a sneak roll.
Oh,
I'd
we're
love to.
doomed.
Busted.
I need at least one success from everyone.
Everybody.
I did not success.
All right, so we want
Johnny did not success.
collectively we want 4 successes.
I got 2.
Oh,
I
there we
got
go.
3.
Oh, more than enough.
Wow.
So it must be Oz that hears it
Finally.
first. It must be Oz that hears it first, and there is the sound of like stiletto heels on the pavements that the paving slabs that have been led in around here, and what does Oz do to kind of does he just is it some hand gestures like get down, shut up, or
There's a hand up and then there's exit plan beta.
I know. I've got it. I told the teacher I was borrowing this to show you how to play.
I think we should
Hide everything else.
everything else. There's so many chemicals out here.
so what we hear is we panic a minute because we think it's going to be a teacher that comes in, but it's not. Because as Eddie is about to
Much worse.
Eddie will start playing the jingle.
no, so as you're about to
Okay.
start playing the jingle, you hear a familiar voice, and she speaks and she says, "Yes, the school seems to be working great. This is far better than I ever planned. This is the best test case I have ever managed. Yeah, I think if we can get the academic club, get the academic challenge, we can supply the vital water to schools and universities across the country. It will be perfect. It's Dr. V, and she's on a giant monstrosity of a mobile phone from the 80s. She's
with a
probably
battery pack.
she probably got a battery in her handbag, yeah. And she's talking to someone. She's like, Jason, this is genius. I'm glad we came here. And she's walking along, and you can hear her. She's as Will said, she's the bad guy, and she's plotting it worse. And clearly, the big plan is to indoctrinate or get everybody on Vital Water at the academic challenge and roll it out across the UK. So we hear her
Need to
walking
stop
down.
this woman.
Um,
Otherwise, it's extra classes from here on in.
So I think for the sake of time, we have a week where Eddie is frantically practicing. So what do? Do we like steal a car battery to have an amp out by the pillbox?
We could do it in school, can't we? We can hack the drama studio, and like.
I mean, if you can find a way for me to plug my guitar into the PA system, I can use that.
Oh, I can get your guitar into the PA system.
Yeah, we can make that happen. Need you to practice like nobody's business first.
We can tell
the
teachers.
How bad.
What?
I'll hate practicing the guitar.
Oh, sorry.
That's good. Hate practice.
Hate practice.
What if we tell
music?
the teachers that...
What about that Thunderstruck song that you like?
I could do that.
Or Evil Woman, Don't You Play Your Games With Me.
All right, so
we can tell.
Or we could go with We're Not Gonna Take It.
So this sounds like
a wall.
We're going to have a couple of days montage where Eddie is practicing. We're going to we need to perhaps and this is part of the game would be called the showdown, and we'd have a little bit more time to role play it and work our way through. But this is where we're going to work out the plan. And it's like extended trouble, but we need many more successes. 4, 8, 12. So we're going to need 16 successes to get everything we want. And this is where we as people work out what we want from the showdown. So I think we're going to have Eddie play something at the academic challenge that counteracts Dr. V's evilness.
Rock tune of the century.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I am going to tech that.
Okay.
So I'm going to be flipping switches and throwing great big transformers and like pulling wires out of one place and sticking them together, gaffer taping things together. We're going to have to sneak into school the night before.
Yep.
And do some serious work on the system.
Oh, so we know that the radio station is gonna play Dr. V's academic album. Is it that they're also Is it that they're also going to be live broadcasting from the academic challenge?
Yes. From the academic challenge,
and we'll need to hack into that to get Eddie's live feed all across town.
Yeah, we've got to save everybody other than school as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we've worked out what Eddie's going to be doing here, and we've worked out what Will.
My own rock song.
Yeah. What is Johnny's job and what is Oz's job in this situation?
I want to use my influence to encourage everyone to listen.
Yeah.
To get really guys, you gotta check
maybe
out.
dupe us some willing support act types or something so that we can power him up a bit more. Can you come up with some willing
some other
stooges?
musicians,
backing singers?
But they'd have to know what song he's playing.
Or a drummer, just a drummer to play on a set beat.
Or is it that you're gonna try and convince Dr. V and the whole thing that Eddie should be the headliner, and instead of Eddie should be headline or the opening act of
because it went down such a storm that he's local celebrity act.
And I know the tune.
Okay, so we're gonna and then what is Oz gonna do?
What is Oz gonna do? So
pyro.
Yeah, I feel
yes.
There needs to be an element of distraction once Dr. V realizes that we are thwarting her evil plan. Something needs to stop.
Is that or you're the radio station guy?
Stopping us, or I'm at the other end of the radio station making sure that stays.
What are your
radio waves stay open? Mostly stealth. Her body and mind are pretty high. My main skill is sneaking, investigating.
Probably a sneak thing for you then.
Are you gonna
be our stealth bod?
Is Ben right? Are we gonna have Oz sneak into the radio station so they don't cancel the live feed?
Or if they do, then I have a DAT tape that I can just slide into the radio station so it keeps on playing.
Yes.
Eddie's tune.
Okay.
Yeah, like a bypass or something, so that if they try and shut down the feed,
backup. Yeah. So we get everyone at school with
Can't
just
stop
the
the
live
signal
playing, and then if the feed gets cut, the radio station still continues to play Eddie's tune.
Okay. So I think it starts then with late before the academic challenge, or maybe early in the morning, because Hicks are good at getting up early in the morning, with Will at this mobile broadcast van when no grown-ups are around, as he tinkers his way into that to set it up so Eddie, when he goes live later, it will not be interrupted, and that's where we start. How does that feel?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So it's obviously
That's
Tinker Tech.
and Tinker.
Now, what is your iconic item?
My iconic item hasn't really come into play much.
Mhm.
It's the collar from my previous dog who died last year. I went for like a sentimental item rather than a functional one.
So is there perhaps some way that you're gonna use that to tighten around any of the cables so that
Yes, let's do that then. I'm gonna have a whole like mess of cables that are just all over the place and keep falling apart.
Mhm.
And then I'll pull that off at the last minute and go, this one's for you, Ranger.
tighten it around stuff so it
And
fits.
tighten it around stuff. Here we go.
Love it.
Oh, 2 successes.
2 successes. So remember here, we need 16 collectively.
Crikey.
That is a lot.
It is a lot. It's a lot on purpose.
How does pushing work?
So we're doing a showdown, which is a very cool bit of extended trouble. You can push, and each time you push, you take a condition, which will give you a -1 on your dice pool, and you can push a maximum of 4 conditions. Once you reach 4 conditions, you're broken, and in an extended campaign, you would then have to have a scene with your anchor, who through some sort of metaphor, you would talk about how you're feeling or what's upset you, what's made you angry, that kind of thing, and that would heal some of your conditions. There was...
I had better push that then, because otherwise there's a lot of pressure on everybody else.
So does Will become angry or frustrated, or does he hurt himself, or...
It's too obvious. They'll see through it in a second. I need to cover this up. I've made a mess of it. The job's a bodge job. I'm not angry. I'm disappointed.
You're just upset? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm upset with myself because I'm letting the team down.
Okay.
And then I push my roll for an additional 1 success. And then I'm going to punch a metal door and hurt my hand.
Uh-huh.
To push it one more time. For an additional 2 successes.
Oh. So 1,
So
2,
I've
3,
hurt my
4.
hand and I'm angry and upset. But
Yeah.
I've got 5 successes in total.
Nice. So the scene ends with like we could see tear stains on Will's cheeks and
Bloody knuckles.
as he leaves in the morning and he moves away. Which part of the plan do we enact next? Is this where we see like Dr. V arriving and Johnny intercepting, or
Yeah, it can be. I think Eddie's got to be last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No pressure, Eddie. All the pressure, Eddie. So yeah, we see, I think, like this fancy car pulls up to school nice and early. Jason, the PA, gets out of the car first, obviously, opens the door for Dr. V, whose wonderful shoes come out first. She's looking absolutely spectacular. There's already maybe Granada Knights there who are recording this, and they're like, Dr. V, this way, Dr. V, this way. And she spots you, and she's like, "Oh, you're the little
Yeah,
friend
I'm Eddie's
of..."
big brother. Yeah,
Oh,
we
he's
met
your
last weekend.
Yes. Are you taking part in the academic challenge?
Oh, I'll definitely be there. I'm helping him set up with his nerves and everything. It's like you're coming along, right? You're going to be in the room with us.
Yes, I was gonna play the opening symphony, the opening ident.
We think it would be really good. Like my brother Eddie's been practicing all week because he absolutely loves that song. We all love that song so much, and he's kind of a local celebrity now in the school and even amongst the town. Like everyone kind of knows who he is around. He's doing really, really well, and we thought it'd be great if he could actually open for you because everyone knows him. It's so famous. It's amazing. It's like the best break he's ever had, really.
And you can see with the cameras on and everything around, she pauses for a moment. And so what role are we making here? Is it a charm?
This is going to be a charm.
Charm. Yeah. What is your iconic item?
Is a Casio G-Shock watch because I'm incredibly vain.
All right, so
amazing.
So
I'm not sure how I can use
the light into her eyes so she can't concentrate and is a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to manage that one.
Bit of a stretch.
Try.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, let's go. I've still got 8 dice.
Nice.
It's like, oh, please, you've got to come see him. 2 successes on that. Right. Got to push. And I'm going to push on. What's happening with Johnny?
Does he begin to do that kid thing where he starts to cry?
I'm going to start to like get really emotional. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go for like upset because I'm actually upset because I'm starting to see that I don't think I'm going to convince her, but I'm going to try and play it off as though like emotional tugging on her heartstrings, but playing up for the crowd.
Mm-hmm. Because the cameras are watching.
Yeah. So I'm trying to outmaneuver that way. No successes on that. Okay.
And so she begins to shake her head. She's like, well.
I'm going to start trying to get the crowd on side. So I'm going to like, okay, we all want to see Eddie, don't we? Like, Eddie.
All right, so the condition here would be terminal for a popular. You would be embarrassed if you, at the end of this, if this goes wrong,
if this goes wrong and people don't join in, yes, I'm going to go for exhausted on this one. Cause
okay, I see what you're doing.
Will be on this.
I see, yeah, exhausted as the nervous energy kicks in.
Everybody likes me, which is my pride. So can I add extra dice for my pride?
Do you know what you can add for your pride? A straight up success.
Hey. Oh! Can I add a little success dice for my pool?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the exhaustion push, right? No successes on that either.
Oh my god.
I'm getting a bit scared of her now.
Yes, she definitely looks down towards you as you're doing this, and she.
For the love of all that is good and holy, people, somebody buy the man a re-roll.
I got one more success. I'm scared.
Yay!
Shy of injuring myself, I'm gonna have to stop it there. So 4 successes overall.
4 successes. So we're on 9.
And now you get a re-roll.
Oh, now you get a re-roll.
Thanks, Asharadel.
Thanks. So we must then move to Oz, who is attempting to sneak into
stealth infiltration.
Yeah, into the radio station to.
Such a bad kid.
He's the parents would be so shocked.
I'm just really curious
He's
about what's
applying for a
inside
job.
places.
I don't understand what the problem is.
Yeah. So you see.
Keen interest in radio.
Yeah, you see, like a couple of techies. They push open a fire exit, and then they put like a box of XLR cables or something on the floor to prop it open, and they go over towards one of the vans and start to have a smoke. And they're just sort of chatting amongst themselves, quietly in the corner. You can hear like the morning news or something on in the radio station where they're talking about how exciting this academic challenge is going to be. People have arrived from all across the UK, really surprised that the Dean of Oxford University is in attendance and all this, cool things are happening. Except it must strike Oz as odd because clearly they're not cool. How is somebody who's in charge of a school cool?
This is like a nerd apocalypse.
Yes. And so you're going to sneak in.
I'm going to stealth my way into the building and try and figure out which thing I need to replace with the other thing.
Yeah. I imagine you've got, because we're doing a stealth roll, I imagine that Will has written down like exactly what to do on a bit of...
picture. I'm going to
Yeah.
the wrong way up, and the usual.
Yeah. All right. So let's see how we sneak in.
Many dice. That's less healthy than it could be. 2.
Yeah.
2.
We're up to 8
2.
so far. That's 10.
So far.
We were up to 9 between
Yeah.
you and me, weren't we?
No.
I was joking. He kept saying 2. I was trying to make a joke
No,
about that.
I think
He's going 2.
Millie has got a reroll. She could force one of us to reroll a bad roll.
I could.
Or I could
Or
spend
she
some
could try
luck.
and.
Do I have to
What's
push it, or
supposed to
can I
reroll?
spend luck?
If you have some
Those
luck
work.
points left, you can use a luck point. Yeah.
I have some luck points left, so let's spend.
So
To be young.
So typically in a like a Tales from the Loop campaign, this would come like at the end of a long big session or a long couple of sessions, and you might already be slightly exhausted. You might have run out of luck, but in the showdown, you can literally use everything you've got to try and succeed. Like it's the end of a long.
No. Yes. One more. All right, I've got 1 left.
Uh-huh.
And then we're in pushing it. Oh, hello, Mama. Right, 5.
5.
5.
So
Let's stop there.
so
So that puts us on what, 13?
No, 9 plus 5 is 14.
14.
14.
Oh. five
So
more. Oh,
so
okay.
Eddie doesn't even have to do that mega playlist.
He will.
He will, but he doesn't have to.
I believe in him.
We all
I feel
believe
like
in him.
the radio station, I just sort of moved back as people went past.
Yeah, there's this.
Did you lock the front doors as you went in?
Yeah, does that what he does? Is he just move the box so
I could just
quietly
move the
the fire exit closed, and he
Closes
waits.
behind
He waits until like something happens in the studio, and the radio host leaves, and his foot just magically slides in the way, and Oz
Catch
the
the
ghost
door.
slips into the and then the door closes, and he clicks a lock to give himself extra time. And the keys to the room are on the desk, so you see the radio host being like, oh, kind of thing, and he heads back off in, which gives Oz even longer. He turns the paper around and plugs things in. Is there anything, like, does he then root through coats? What does it look like when Oz is doing this?
He's a bit more focused this time round. He might have a little bit look through the records.
Yeah, there's some real cool records in here. Most of them have been pushed off to one side, and there's just like a couple of Dr. V academic album volume 1, 2, 3, and that's all they
take
seem
it
to
then.
have. You just pocket them and hide
I'm
them.
just going to take them. I just need to take those away.
All right, so he slides these in his pocket. Before the radio host gets back, he opens the door, slips out a different way to roundabout, maybe past the canteen where he sees a box of bub and biscuits or something. They go in the pocket or something along the way. Gosh, I love bub and biscuits. And there is this amazing sort of like, he was never there.
Goes.
Yeah. As he just casually walks out of the radio station.
Oh, well, eat the biscuit.
Maybe even the receptionist is like, have a lovely day, like you should have been there and everything is fine, kind of thing. Have a lovely day, thanks for visiting.
A particular walk that makes it look like you belong.
Yeah. So
You're just one sheet of paper away from just blending in.
yeah, he's perfect. So we cut to we can see coaches filling up like the schoolyard and the sports field. Loads of kids, everybody like excited, but none of the that sort of kind of teacher thing where they're like, Jonathan, put that down, stop it, kind of thing. Everybody's like, oh, this is so excited. I've been revising for it for all week. It's going to be amazing. And that sort of thing, as everybody filters in. And then you see like there are other schools that aren't from the area. We hear like, Scottish and London and all these different accents kind of things. And those kids are acting like kids. and the prefects and the people from our town, our school, are handing out like water as they come in. There's vital water, have a nice day, you know, that kind of stuff. Passing T-shirts and stuff on, and they fill up this whole kind of hall and room as everybody. You can see people are like stood around, and there's a TV, a big sort of projector in the yard, so all the other people can watch. Everybody's sat nicely. Teachers are trying to calm down the out of town kids and that kind of thing. The Dr. V comes onto the stage, and she says, I've realized that you don't all want to hear a grown-up chat at you. You want to hear the youth and the excitement of your friends who all have embraced the Vital Water ethos and taken it to their heart as well as their mind. And you hear everybody kind of go, and their mind, sort of, yeah, that kind of thing. And you might have remembered just a week ago, the wonderful musician who joined me on stage, was we were handing out these Vital Waters to the community for free. We handed them out for free, and everybody who's attending here today and is from out of town, you can go home with some Vital Water as well for free. And there's like, oh, free shit. Yeah, that's great. I like free shit. And she goes, and so to play our opening number for this evening, it is, and you see her look over at Jason, like her PA, and he goes, Eddie,
Oh,
it's
rude.
Eddie, everybody. Remember Eddie? And she walks off the other way as Eddie kind of walks on stage. Yeah. And the whole room is silent and staring at you.
No pressure.
So maybe you remember
Eddie
the start of
is...
Back to the Future when Marty just turns up all the amps.
Oh yeah.
Eddie just walk across the stage and just start turning
down.
down.
Turning him on as he walks on. So he's got the headband on, you know.
Mm-hmm.
His hair down as long as he could have it because his parents keep telling him to cut it. He's got his headband. He's wearing the Vita Water t-shirt.
Yes.
However, he's distressed it, so it kind of, you know, there's bit holes underneath where it says Vita Water, and just kind of little signs of a black t-shirt underneath.
You change the V to a B.
Vita Water.
You know, it's got its kind of favourite jacket on, jeans ripped with the knees virtually completely missing. You know, as is the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be epic if he fails.
And he just kind of struts onto stage like he. Right now, he feels like he.
It's the 80s.
He feels like he's ruling the world right now. This is his dream to be on stage.
No one give him rerolls.
Awesome.
Look, we have faith in you. Chat has faith in you. They're chanting Eddie.
We're gonna save this city.
But yeah, the audience is silent.
So he's gonna and this one is dedicated to Sam. Touch his heart and point at a girl in the audience from years above him. Using
nice.
Drive, which is he's doing this for love.
Oh, I like it. So he only needs one more success. One more success.
So I'm assuming charm.
Yes.
And I get the 2 from my guitar.
Yes.
So let's hope these 10 dice cut it. And how does luck work? Do I have to re-roll everything, or
no? Just not your
the successes.
Yeah, just your failures.
It's not a
10
bad start,
successes.
but
Come on.
I've got 2, but I'm going to use a point of luck because this is the show of
You're
his
damn
life.
right you are.
Yeah.
That's 3. Can I use more than 1 point of luck?
You can't use more than 1 point of luck in the showdown, but you can use conditions. You can
take a condition and push
I'm on
it.
5, but I will take a condition and push it. And the condition is embarrassment because he just confessed to everyone in his school that he fancies a girl 2 years above him.
Yeah.
Oh,
And you just got a reroll.
Combustible Dan has given you a reroll, so we'll use that as well.
So can I use that after I've pushed?
Yes, I'm all for this.
Gonna run out of dice to roll.
Not a million miles off. I'm not sure how well these will appear on camera, but
Is this where you were telling me earlier? These are the thornless rose
Mine
stones.
haven't worked that well, but yeah.
So there's these 3, and if I could get them, these 5.
So you needed 1, and you
8.
got 8.
8 successes.
Got a reroll, remember?
That was using the reroll.
Oh,
My luck reroll and
I
a
nearly
push.
kill myself.
So,
Like 4 successes.
so you got an extra
Don't worry,
7.
you played a valuable part.
An extra 7. An extra 7. Yeah,
It's a
I
song
like.
of his own composition.
Yeah, so all through the montage that came before, where we were working out all the resonant crystals and everything with Will at wherever our science montage kind of happened, we were playing a different tune. We were playing something completely different. It was like proper like thunderstruck metal kind of thing. And you step onto the stage, you blow the kiss and put your finger over your heart. And you play like this mega power ballad kind of thing.
Like my own Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah.
That lasts way longer than a normal song should last.
And we sit
When
and
they try and unplug him halfway through, I jam 2 more wires together and he keeps going.
Complete with, like a 3-minute guitar solo in the
oh
middle.
yeah.
Because you know what adults are like, they'll try and unplug him.
and so maybe Oz is still at the radio station just in case he needed to tackle someone. And what we see, he's playing this 3-minute power ballad, and what we see is like the DJ going, "Is this live? Who is this?" And he picks up a phone and he that thing where he's like, "You need to listen to this."
Sound you were looking for?
Yeah, that kind of, because we got 7 extras, so that kind of thing. Listen to this, and he's just holding it over the live feed kind of thing. We see like at the back of the room, Dr. V, her face kind of drops, and she frowns a bit, and she obviously like smacks Jason, the PA, and he sort of ends up holding her fiddle, and she just leaves. We just see her turn around and walk. And
during the performance, I did forget to mention one bit. The tears that were in the t-shirt were entirely deliberate, as halfway through he rips off the bottom half of the shirt, and he was wearing another shirt underneath, and it's just got "Is the Devil" showing underneath and a big picture of Satan.
yeah, so that's the bit where she just sort of spins on her stilettos and walks out, and like all the kids in the room just kind of just go, "Wah!" And you see this girl, and she's just like crying a tear, and the t-shirt that you throw, somebody's like, she's like clutching it and looking at you. Somebody comes over to Johnny and they're like, you know that kid, right? Kind of thing. You're friends with them. That's it. Like, and which is, I guess, kind of the thing that Johnny like, because he's not the sort of show, but he's the.
I still benefit from it.
Yeah, no, you're like the conduit to getting to the without having to have the embarrassment of maybe failing on stage. You got like that kind of run through. What is Will's kind of thing here, where he suddenly realizes he's out-teched a big scientist? What do we see from Will in the showdown that he's?
Can I use one of those extra successes
Mm-hmm.
to have booby-trapped one of the pallets of Vita Water that sat outside, so that as she's storming out, the Vita Water falls out of the boxes and rolls down, knocking her over on a tide of Vita Water bottles.
I was wondering whether you have I, while this is going on, sabotaged all the DIY kits so they all just explode. just canisters
in
flying.
time with the music.
Poof,
Fireworks.
poof, poof, fireworks going
so
off everywhere.
We'll put one success on fireworks. We'll put 1 success on sabotaging the Vita Water so she falls over on her way out.
And what is Oz doing? Is he just like disappearing into the background, just going, yes? What is? Yeah.
Just strolling off into the mist.
Yeah, things
done.
explode. And we just see Oz walking out the school, out of the radio station, and down the road. And the screen fades, and we have the credits that roll up. Normally in a Tales from the Loop, you have a mundane scene afterwards with the grown-ups. But what I quite like is, the afterwards where it goes, Eddie went on to have a successful rock career, but by the time he was, so by the time he was 18, what had happened? Eddie went on to have a great rock career. He went to the summer ball with his. What happened? You tell me.
So I'd like to, Eddie, this girl just. All the fame, she just can't resist, and she ends up going to his sixth form dance, even though she's now at university.
Ooh, win.
So Eddie turns up at the school with a girl 2 years
Sorry,
older.
I just realised he's not 12 anymore.
No, this is
wait, what is
this is going
He's
forward.
He's 18 now.
I'm with it now. I've caught
Don't
up.
worry, Leon. My safeguarding head was right here.
Yeah.
We're good.
He knows that after school is done, he's free to pursue his music career, as the record label keep wanting him to do more and more, but he was always tied down by school, and he knows this is the final one.
Yeah.
And he's actually going to go on stage for the final song of the night.
Okay, so Eddie has Eddie is sensible. He finishes his school and then goes on to graduate and attend the ball
Due
with
to intense pressure from the parents.
Yeah. He goes to the ball with his school sweetheart that he dedicated to the music to on that night, and then goes off to have a moderately successful career. Because we don't always, that's the spin with Tales from the Loop. So what does it do for Johnny?
Johnny is the singer in Eddie's band for the first year, and then stops because he's not actually that good a singer, but becomes his manager. And then just has a standard small record producing. Yep.
Johnny goes on to sing in the band, becomes a producer, and then realizes that that's hell because it's a lot of work. And oh my god, what did I do? And the last shot of Johnny is him at the desk, just filling out forms or something. What?
Yeah, he manages just riding those coattails of cool because he just knows people, so he's got his contacts. So he's kind of like, hey, I know this famous person.
Okay. Will after the success of the sabotaging the Vita Water academic challenge and his technical explosions and sabotaging Dr. V, what does Will go on to do? That
Will
starts
is
cool.
motivated to pay more attention in school and becomes something of an engineer, and he designs a new engine for a tractor that doesn't make huge amounts of money, but he's able to pay off the mortgage on the farm and ensure that his mum can live comfortably in her old age. And he marries Tracy Johnson, and they have like 4 kids and live on the farm and have a little floating tractor.
I love it. It's like just mediocre good, isn't it? Which is the perfect kind of counterbalance in Tales from the Loop. And then what happens? So Oz, we had that freeze frame on Oz walking off school property. What happens with Oz?
Out into the distance. Oz takes a number of odd jobs from his dad. Starts to sort of play around with the computer systems in the labs, sets up some sort of file transfer protocol between all the different science buildings, and then one day disappears with several of the hard drives.
And is the last line in like the after thing, and nobody saw Oz again.
And nobody saw Oz ever again.
And it fades up with like the "We Are Legion" face or something. Is that what like fades in like a glitch cut of that?
Microsecond.
So that is a very fast, a very quick and rough version of Tales from the Loops, folks. I hope you had fun as much as I did, because that was hilarious.
Awesome game, thank you.
That was lovely.
Thank you, that was fantastic.
Thank you, enjoy it. Normally when I've done these recently, I've been able to say, look, if you want to read it or work out what we've taken here, they're up on drive-through. But life has got in the way, and that's not happened. So it will eventually be available for folks, and I guess I'll make sure Garblag all know about it when it does. But yeah, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, it's been
You
wonderful.
are
Thank
absolutely
you.
welcome.
Yeah,
And
maybe you'll be back for more.
on behalf of the Big Cheese himself, hopefully we will be seeing you again on Garblag, and we'll be coming over to sort of spy on you in future, and there'll be a lot more collaborations. Don't forget to check out Millie on Twitch at Millie the GM.
Yeah.
Don't forget to check us out on Twitch if you're on Twitch, and on YouTube if you're on YouTube, and the other way around if you're on the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
Subscribe to one if you're on the other, and subscribe to the other if you're on the one. All the links will be posted below for you to find all of the good people. And stay tuned for the rest of Garblag's December One Shot Spectacular. On Thursday, we have, what do we have, Rog? Is that Theros?
On Thursday, we have the
Theros, yes.
Odysseys of Theros.
Mythic Odysseys.
Mythic Odysseys of
Ooh.
Theros, which is a D&D
High
5e game.
fantasy, D&D 5e, Greek mythology.
Yeah, think ancient Greece meets D&D, which Jim is running.
Yes.
Which I'm really, really looking forward to. We've
you playing,
got
Rog?
Aquinocles, the
you playing,
centaur
Rog?
bard.
What you
I'm
playing, Rog?
playing
What you playing, Rog?
Leonidas, the Leonin paladin.
Oh, fabulous.
Nice.
Everyone loves Leonidas, not Leonidas.
Yeah,
Leonidas.
We don't actually need any plot for our characters because we are just a mobile plot disaster,
We are walking-
just
yeah.
waiting to happen.
And I'm hoping there are going to be explosions all around us, just so I can walk away from them in slow motion.
Leon's
don't think-
in
I
that
Because
don't
of
as
my
think
well,
it'll be
oath
much
of
combat.
glory.
Fireball
So much
explodes and he just
hair
walks
to kind
away.
of float around in the wind as well.
I'm in Theros, yes, I'm playing a Minotaur Cleric.
Splendid.
Oh, Minotaurs.
What day are we up to at that point?
So that was Thursday.
That was Thursday.
That's Thursday. Thursday is the 10th. And then on the 12th, we've got Jonathan Hicks, our good friend and game designer, coming in to run a second session of Those Dark Places.
Wow.
which has
Um,
just been released from Osprey Games.
Just released from Osprey Games. Again, find our links, follow them along, purchase the book. And that is
And don't forget to tell them Garblag sent you.
gratuitous sci-fi horror with lots of spookiness and stuff going on. And then next week on Tuesday,
Wrath and Glory?
Wrath and Glory.
Oh,
yes,
the night
my-
before Nobness.
the night before Nobmas, and
Ain't it
all
red, it goes
Gobbo
fast, ain't it?
Boys one shot of absolute silliness. Next
Wow,
Thursday.
the orcs.
Twilight?
Next Thursday
Twilight
is
2000.
you, isn't it, Rog?
No,
Next
the
Thursday?
Thursday is Twilight 2000.
Twilight
Ooh.
2000.
So we are
Also
running the
from Free
alpha
League.
rules from Free League
Alpha
Publishing.
rules for Free League's Twilight 2000 just released, hot off the press. Game isn't even produced yet, fresh from the Kickstarter.
But we can't wait, so we're playing
We
it.
cannot wait, and we're going to play a bunch of soldiers soldiering in Soldier Land.
Nice.
Then on the Monday, the 21st of
Ooh.
December,
Yes.
we have. I'm not going to shout because I have people asleep upstairs, but we have the Flint and Steel One Shot, which may or may not result in bringing back the Halfling.
That's
So
exciting.
And I love that halfling.
you'll have to wait and see what Gunter and potentially others get up to.
And then also in that last week, we've got the Great Garblag Game Show of Greatness,
Yay!
which is going to be a silly, irreverent pop culture Garblag gaming quiz featuring our players, our cast, our patrons, and random dice rolling for points. And yeah, that's pretty much takes us to the end
And
of
that
the year.
takes us up to Christmas.
And then we come into January where all of our stuff is secret.
I
Nelly,
feel-
what have you got lined up for the rest of the month?
Me, I've got a little bit more. I host the UK Games Expo Twitch on a Wednesday at lunchtime. So I've got a couple more of those on the way. Sunday evenings we play a bit of Dungeons and Dragons. We're playing Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus on our the Royal We, me and the Frog in the Pocket and the other folks. We're playing. Yeah, we've just got into the Dungeon of the Dead 3.
Tiny
on a
magic space elephant.
Yeah.
See, miniature
we
giant
haven't-
space hamster.
Yeah.
Go for the
Oh,
eyes.
go for the eyes,
for the
boys. We haven't
Best
got up to the
character
miniature
ever.
elephant yet. That's not
No
happened yet.
spoilers.
We're only just in the dungeon. It's all right. I'm the GM. I've read it all. I know. But we have got into the Dungeon of the Dead 3, and we're just starting to work out what's going on. That's on Sunday nights at 8:30. There are a couple of other bits and pieces, mostly me trying to play Alien Isolation and dying lots, and swearing at the game when it as I'm convinced something is in the cupboards or something is with me, and it's not, and then I get spooked and I forget what the keys are. I'm just very bad at it, which is a delight in its own manner. So nothing too exciting, but also lots of D&D for the rest of the year. Yeah, I'm with you, Ashradel. That's the only way to play it. But not much, but enough. It's been a pleasure playing
Alien Isolation. Pete's game scares the living crap out of me.
Hey,
let alone
I
a
can't do
computer
horror
game.
games. As soon as the music changes, it's like, not going through that door. No,
Yeah.
no.
Movies don't bother me.
Step
the
it away.
sound engineering. I
games,
say it
however,
all the
that's
time.
why
The
I wear the
sound
brown
engineering
pants.
on Alien Isolation is so phenomenal. Like if you get to play a little bit of it, it messes with you and everything dials all that terrifying moments up to 11. But yeah, it's very, very spoopy. But is it time to go?
It is, yes. We can let these good people go to their beds.
Yes.
Don't forget to check us out on all the social medias. We've got Facebook, Twitter. We're on Patreon,
Insta.
Discord. And we
Redbubble.
even have Redbubble. There has been a lot of
Yeah.
talk of the Redbubble recently.
There's some
on
really
the
nice
Garblag Games
cushions.
Discord. So
Yeah,
Cushions.
throw cushions. Who
Yeah.
doesn't
Get
want
to
a
see that.
Garblag map throw cushion?
And if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And everything's cool.
Yeah, thank you very
Yeah.
much.
So I'll make sure I've got the thing, and then I'll press the button, and we'll all wave goodbye. Thanks, folks, for having me. See you soon.